Wonderful. Hello, everybody. Welcome to 4Player Podcast, episode 485. I am your host, Nick Henderson, joined this evening by Brad Simons.
Hey, Nick.
Nolan Hedstrom.
How's it going, everybody?
And Christopher Guthridge.
Hello.
And it's our last podcast of the year.
This is really... Last week you said it was our last one. He promised
Well, this is
our
literally
last
the
one.
last week of the year. Unless y'all want to get back together and record another one before the week is up. Which I'm not really a fan
You promised
of.
me, right? Though you promised.
I promise. This is the last episode of the year.
Oh, my God. New Year's is Saturday?
It's not like anyone else could die before the year's over.
Don't say that.
Stop that. Why would you?
Oh,
There's
man.
plenty
Now I
of
feel like
time.
we should have a moment of silence.
I could die because
We
I'm
could only
working really early on New Year's Eve. I guess that would be next year, though.
I mean, like, if Russia launched a nuke,
No, God.
it would only take, like, 46 minutes to get
it's not.
here.
We have a few more weeks before we have to worry about that.
Oh, my God, guys. I wasn't really ready for this conversation to get that dark. So, yeah, we weren't originally planning on having a podcast this week, but there's some cool stuff to talk about. We got some. Actually, this is a very demo-heavy show. I think pretty much all the major games that we're talking about this week are going to be...
We hate full games.
They're big demos, though, man.
Yeah, they're pretty big,
important
high-profile
demos.
demos.
important demos.
Also-
You know what's nice? Demos.
I know, that's what I was going to say. Like, the fact that we've gotten any at all is nice.
Yeah, that is...
Because that doesn't happen too much anymore.
Why does that not happen more?
And we
It's
don't have
just-
to go to the grocery store and buy a video game magazine to get them.
Yeah,
Oh, you bought... I always just ripped it out and stole it.
that's...
That's the joke. That's
Oh
the
my
joke.
God.
I promise you,
I
that's the
don't
joke.
think that is a joke.
No,
I think that was a low-key confession.
I
on
would
your
be
part.
scared I'd
It's a
get
low-key
arrested when I was a kid.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
my God.
Would y'all like to hear a little bit of feedback from our last episode?
I would.
There's not a
Let's
whole...
just get right into it, man. Let's do it.
There's not a whole lot.
I wasn't here.
I'm
I
gonna be
don't
honest.
care.
There's not a whole lot. So I
that's
just want
why
to
you
remind
should care.
everybody, if you have some thoughts on anything that we talk about that you'd like to that you would like to make known, just leave a comment on the site at 4playernetwork.com. Tell us what you think about the Nier Automata demo, which we're going to be talking about, or perhaps the demo for Valkyria Revolution.
It's just a Valkyria Revolution. I wish he didn't put Azure.
Well, it's the Japanese demo. That's what it's called in Japan.
Yeah, sure, but at this point, we should start calling it Valkyria Revolution.
True. And yes, I will get to that in a moment, Chris Davis. Let me just quickly go through this feedback. It's only like two I'm going to read. First one's from Punch Drunk, and I'm just going to kind of get right to it. He just basically says, I really hope you all take an honest chance with The Division, so now that we all own it. If for anything else, so I can get the chance to backstab you all in the Dark Zone, which I think after it was gifted to us last week by Christopher Davis, right? Everyone here has their copy?
Yeah.
No one's traded it in yet?
Oh, definitely not.
No,
Not even
don't trade it in.
GameStop
You'll
will
get
take
nothing at GameStop. You got to do the whole Walmart switcheroo if you really want
Oh,
Shit.
that old flim flam.
So yeah, I think we're probably going to organize a division night of some kind in the near future. That should be fun. Let's see. And last piece of you having to read comes from Piost. He says, "Well, because we talked about Dead Rising 4 last week. Oops, sorry about that. While timers in games give me a lot of stress, I felt like the timers in Dead Rising 2 did a good job setting a pace for the game. I couldn't just take my time because there were survivors to find or psychopaths to die. Seriously, I found some of those to be very difficult but interesting encounters. Mm-hmm. So we talked pretty good amount last week about timers because Dead Rising 4 just axed it, no timer, which kind of sucks.
That's your opinion.
It is.
It seems like it's like that's a weird game though. Like that's the kind of game that if you didn't have something pushing you forward, you would just dick around killing zombies forever, and then you get bored with it. Probably,
Well, I feel like
right?
that
think
probably
what
has
happened
happened.
with
Yeah.
people
Not to
in this
mention
game.
Dead Rising in general as a series, like
Well,
there are
I
so
wasn't here for the discussion. I
well,
don't
there are
know.
so many zombie games out there that I feel like the one thing that made that game kind of stand apart from the other zombie games was its timer,
sense of urgency.
the sense of urgency. And
I thought it was because it was goofy.
Yes, I'm sure there's plenty of goofy zombie killing games, right? Right?
There's some.
Okay, maybe not like super.
I mean,
over the top
Dead
crazy.
Rising?
Aren't all zombie killing games kind of goofy in their own way?
No.
Like, kind of, isn't that in and of itself kind of a goofy thing?
No.
I mean, it depends.
State of Decay wasn't goofy at
State
all.
of Decay was absolute. Well,
That was just scary.
was it?
Well, I mean, scary because you were running low on resources.
I'd argue
enough.
Resident Evil is kind of goofy.
I mean,
but
I would definitely argue that Resident Evil is goofy as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Don't
Zombies are-
Don't. Let's not start this conversation again. I know
Is that
what
not?
you're doing, Brad.
I'm sorry. Is that? I don't mean that as an insult. That's like.
I mean,
that's like its charm.
I don't think
right?
anyone is going to debate it. Some might argue that it didn't happen until Resident Evil 5.
Absolutely didn't happen until Resident Evil 5.
I mean, come on.
Fuck you.
The first game.
4?
The
Brad's
first
just
game
trying to
takes
fucking
place-
just.
Did you play Nemesis?
In
that
in
game's
four,
fucking
the,
scary.
in four, the enemy was like a little tiny guy who was like Napoleon. He was like,
that's
"Nah, I'm going to kill
You
you."
can be-
You at least got to give me 4.
You can be scared and still like the whole thing still be kind of
Yeah.
goofy.
Have you seen Evil
Like,
Dead 1?
Yeah, Evil Dead one's like kind of.
Are we
played-
talking like the remake of Evil Dead?
No,
No.
That's the only one I've seen.
But even that, like, it's played for horror, but it's the whole idea. is
Okay,
a little
well, fine. I'll
goofy.
concede it to y'all, but to me, when y'all say goofy, it sounds negative.
That's not.
So,
Oh, no.
I love
Some
the
of my
goofy
favorite
Yeah,
things in the
yeah.
world are goofy things.
Yeah.
Are ridiculous things.
but
Why
like,
do you think I like?
But like
comics?
Dead Rising is goofy to me because you're putting like
Wow.
you're putting like traffic cones on zombies' heads.
You're running
and,
around
like,
with power armor and shit.
Yeah,
too.
exactly. Like
they just
that is
went-
goofy.
Yeah.
Resident Evil was never really like that to me because
Resident Evil's fucking hammy as fuck.
it's a fucking viral outbreak. Turn people into fucking zombies, and you're shooting them with.
The game takes
regular
place in a
weapons.
haunted mansion that's
not-
over like a
not
super.
haunted.
Okay, I'm sorry, it's not a haunted mansion, right? Okay, you're right. It just has monsters in it, but like it plays like the goofiest, like oldest, hammiest, like horror tropes ever.
Sure, but
I'm not saying it does it poorly. I'm just saying that's what it is. You know, that's it's got it's in it. It's in its blood.
goofy. I'm sorry. It's just that my reaction to the word goofy is just comes across kind of negative.
Let me ask
Yeah,
you.
I know you need.
How
to
do you
fucking
feel about the
relax.
classic, beloved Disney character Goofy?
What about
Do you
a
shit on him too?
A Goofy
Goofy's
movie?
great. Goofy's great.
But
Resident Evil 7, I mean, that could be ridiculous. Like, we don't know what the fuck, we don't fucking know nothing about what that game's going to ultimately be. But, like, based on what I've played so far, nothing about that seems fucking goofy. It seems fucking disgusting and terrifying and creepy as shit.
I love Goofy. He was way better than Donald in Kingdom Hearts.
Fair enough.
I mean, he was the only one that did anything. Donald just constantly used ball as MP and then ran around
Yeah.
like a doofus.
Yeah,
And
but
then
wasn't
died.
magic
Yeah.
in Kingdom Hearts in general kind
But
of?
at least Goofy had his fucking shield and he would actually
Yeah.
guard and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Donald was. As soon as you could get another character, you fucking oust
I've lost
Donald
control of this
and you
conversation.
bring in someone else.
Donald, fuck you. I'm taking the beast.
Exactly.
I'm taking Peter Pan. Anybody.
What's up, Nick?
Nothing. I just got sidetracked there. Anyways, that's all the feedback we have this week. So again, if there's anything we talk about tonight you would like to chime in on, please let us know in the comments below or on the post for this episode when it goes up on 4playernetwork.com. I also have been informed to remind you all that we have 2 surveys currently available for the community to take for our Game of the Year / Highlight of the Year videos that we'll be putting together shortly. So you can go to 4playernetwork.com. The survey's up there. You can vote for your 10 favorite games of 2016. You can also vote for your favorite highlights of 2016. And at the end, once we have all the results pulled in from those, we'll put together a video and we'll post them along with our personal top 10 lists in January when we get those done. So the surveys end on Sunday. If you have not yet done that, please go and vote.
Someone in chat just said Goofy's the only Disney character to canonically have had sex.
What?
What? Is that true? That can't be true.
Who's tracking this?
No, what about like DuckTales? Like Huey,
What
Louie,
about?
and Dewey. I mean, they're the fucking nephews.
They were Donald's.
Yeah, they were
nephews.
Donald's nephews.
So he had to have a sister or brother,
Yeah, who fucked?
right?
Which means he had.
but were
parents
they an
that
that
fucked.
actual
person doesn't
character?
actually exist.
Probably. No, I'm fairly certain they were.
In the cartoon, though?
I don't remember. It's been a
No,
long
no,
time
no,
since
no,
I've
no,
seen
no.
it.
You don't make ducks by having sex. They come out of eggs.
That's
Which
true.
are produced
Yeah.
after.
I mean, ducks don't have like
Sex.
penises.
Isn't
do
eggs
they?
just?
Was that a
bird
serious
poop?
question?
just like giant fleshy cocks?
No, they're corkscrews.
oh God, I forgot about
You
that.
know this?
Oh
Because
God.
a female duck's vagina has like dead ends. And so when a male duck goes in, like he can go the wrong way and just nothing happens.
It's like that haunted house that that crazy old lady
Is that
built with
some
all
sort
those
of,
like rooms and doors
other
that go
animals
nowhere
don't
to
actually
trick
fuck
ghosts.
a duck?
Well, no, that's so it reduces.
I'm sorry. What did you just ask?
He just asked if that's so other animals don't fuck a duck. But yes and no. I don't think very often that's happening. But it's just because. Why not?
That's
So-
just how the evolution.
So
shook
mules
out.
are made from horses and donkeys, right?
Yes.
Does the horse fuck the donkey, or is that just test? I mean, is it all test tubes?
No, horses can fuck donkeys.
Well, I think a lot
Can
of
a donkey fuck
but-
a horse?
I think a lot of like
But a donkey cannot fuck a
Industrial-
duck.
That's true.
I think a lot of industrial breeding nowadays is done just by artificial insemination. But back
Well,
in
no.
the day, they didn't have that. They would have just.
But
gotten
is it
them to
always
fuck.
the male horse fucking the female donkey?
I don't think it
Is
has to
that-
be.
It's not the other way around.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure one of them would die.
So the female.
What?
Donkeys
Why?
are a lot smaller than horses.
So?
Yeah, I guess. That's
Maybe the donkey just has a better time.
Oh my god.
Anyway.
But how does the donkey reach the horse's parts?
It does its best. I
It
mean,
gets
maybe,
up on a footstool.
maybe they do it donkey style.
Wait,
They both lay down.
Fuck is going on this show?
Missionary.
what is donkey style?
Oh,
That one involves like a punch, right?
What?
I really wish
It's
I could.
donkey style,
What?
like having sex with a girl that's taller than you, but you're like she's standing and you're just kind of like.
It's
holding on.
it's similar to doggy
Exactly.
style, except for you watch the dogs too.
I think it
So I've been
involves
playing
the
Watch
ass.
Dogs 2. Anyway,
Watch Dogs 2. Wait,
Yeah.
no,
Wait,
we're
we're
talking
not-
about demos.
I wanted to briefly talk about Watch Dogs 2.
Okay, look, can we save that?
It was a good transition.
No, that was a terrible transition.
No,
Can
it wasn't.
I really
It was
kinda-
terrible when everyone fucked it.
I I really wish I could name this show the
Speaking
Fucking
of
Duck
fuck
Show.
it, there's lots of women in demos that I want.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to start with Nier Automata, if that's cool with y'all.
Don't think I want to fuck her.
That's racist.
Nier Automata.
I'm pretty sure she's a robot.
Well, that's.
yeah, she
I mean,
is.
that's kind of the implication. So let's talk.
Yeah, I
about,
didn't
Isn't
want to
that
fuck
the
Cosmos.
appeal?
How do
God.
you know she's not a
Guys,
sex bot?
what is with all the fucking talk tonight? Jesus.
Sorry.
It's that time of the year.
Let's-
I mean, have you seen our banner?
Yeah, I made it. Yeah.
Sorry.
Actually, it is. There are
Hope
lots
you
of
washed
ladies
your
on our
hands
banner.
afterwards.
I played the Nier Automata demo.
Yep, me too.
You said Dema.
Demo. Sorry, I played the Nier Automata demo. And what the fuck is this game? So we all liked the original Nier, right?
I never
Correct.
played
No
it.
one's playing it current. Oh, you
I
haven't played
love
it
the
yet?
I've
original.
never.
Nier.
I didn't know anything about Nier or this franchise or whatever.
Did
but
you
I,
play the-
I played this.
Okay.
I
So
love the original.
So
Nier.
I will say, Crispy, that this is a quite a
This is a departure.
different
This is
departure
nothing
from
like
the original Nier.
this is a very
Oh,
big
good.
departure. I think one of the biggest questions I still have about Nier Automata after playing the demo is: are there still going to be like areas where you're not in like this feels like a big dungeon, and I'm wondering if there's ever
you're
going to be
just
a moment.
hacking away at
Well,
robots this entire time.
I assume this is a dungeon.
Yeah, but
Similar
I'm like,
to in-
is there,
in-
are you ever going to be outside of a dungeon?
I
Are you
hope
ever going
so.
to be in a town? Are you ever going to be talking to NPCs?
So I will say that
Is that what this is supposed to be?
that's what Nier
the first
was.
one is?
That they kind of said that there would be RPG things about this game.
I just got like
There is, I
I just
leveled
got
up.
heavy like platinum like
that's
Devil May Cry
exactly
vibes.
that's
from
exactly what this.
and that's what it is.
This is a platinum action game. Through
My
and through.
fear is this game is ultimately going to turn out to be like a clone of Bayonetta. Not that I don't like. I love Bayonetta, and I'll be happy if this is even half as good as Bayonetta. But like, I kind of wanted to see Platinum. You know,
Some unique DNA,
Yeah,
which you
yeah.
know, there's stuff in here that's obviously
oh, there's some
from Nier. I mean, like
some
the
unique
bullet
DNA
hell
in this.
stuff is from Nier.
the music.
Like the fact that you're I mean, they even have remixes. The fact that you're like shooting with a little robot is kind of like shooting with your
Well, you had the spell. Or
your
whatever.
vice,
Yeah, the
your
vice,
your
yeah.
book guy. From
Grimoire vice.
it's clear that this is a platinum action game take on Nier, from what I gather. I mean, I don't think. I think this is going to be a platinum action game, which
Well,
is somewhat disappointing to me. But
And so my only problem with that, Brad, is I think Nier, the original, had all of that action and stuff, but I think it had that kind of spaced out. And that was my hopes and dreams, were that this would kind of follow suit with that there would be a outside of action element.
I want there to be some towns. I want
Yeah,
like
towns where you talk
I
to
wanna-
people and you do
I wanna
quests.
fucking find
with y'all,
quests
this
and
is
shit.
After playing this, I got kind of bummed out.
I want to fucking plant some rice.
I
Because
don't
you could
think
do
you're-
that in Nier.
I don't think you're going to be planting rice in this game. I will say this: having played the demo,
Fuck.
it is. Wait. What was?
No, I just like I just played this like an hour ago and I was fucking stoked.
No,
by
that's
it.
cool.
Like,
No,
So here's the thing. So am I. I'm very stoked.
I didn't know anything about. I haven't heard anything about this. I haven't been following it. I didn't know anything about what you guys thought this might be or whatever.
I will gladly.
Well, I mean, I feel like we all knew that it was going to be like that, but in interviews, the director kind of made it suggested like, no, there's going to be some RPG stuff in here,
and that could very well still be there. I just don't think it's going to be. It's not going to be anywhere near as that like large as near.
There's a lot going on with like the character systems that they don't really touch in this demo.
Yeah,
that seem to imply that could be possible.
Did we all finish the demo?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about this game as a platinum action game.
Okay.
Which it is.
Which this is one of the like just based on the demo. This is one of the most polished fucking action games I've played in a long time.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, this demo, like, I did not have a single technical issue with this demo. It's polished, like, it's smooth. It runs smooth as butter. It's super fast paced. It feels really good. Like,
I
from
will
a
say,
gameplay perspective, I like just about everything about this demo.
I will say I had a not frustration. So in the original Nier, it did this kind of thing that's doing now, where sometimes it would be side scroller and the camera would kind of shift. Mm-hmm. I felt like that it did that a little heavy to the point where like enemies would like all of a sudden just be right in front of me. Quite a few times it happened in this demo where all of a sudden the camera would shift and there'd be an enemy and it kind of threw me off guard. And that's not the end of the world. I'm just saying that I hope that's not the way they...
Well, the perspective stuff like is kind of one of the... Like, they do a lot of crazy shit with the perspective in this demo.
And I'm fine with that. I'm just saying, like, in Nier, it didn't happen. It wasn't happening a lot. It only happened a few times.
They did it like
dungeons
6 times
and
in
stuff.
this demo.
Yeah, but it happened constantly in this demo, and very often, you know, they would the camera, you know, your perspective would switch, and all of a sudden there'd be an enemy there, but it was off camera.
Yeah.
And I got that kind of frustrated. And like, it's not like I died or anything. It was just like, oh,
a potential concern.
I like that. Like when I was playing, like I don't know, like it's amazing what a simple idea of just like of just putting the camera in like different dynamic spots and not giving the player full control over it. Like I don't know, it made what could have seemed just like a little bit.
How can I say a cookie cutter?
It made something that could have very easily just felt like another action game, like
Got
feel a little more interesting.
It was definitely the unique element here. I feel like if that wasn't there,
it was. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, that combined with like the interesting ideas of like playing that off of like level design, like worked incredibly well, especially in the boss fight where you're like walking around on the boss, like that shit was cool.
I thought it was really cool when you were walking, like when you go up onto the stairs that are like wrapped around.
And you're
the
like
thing.
way far back,
and the camera just kind of subtly pulls back,
Yeah.
and suddenly it's just like seamlessly it becomes like a side-scrolling. shoot 'em
But
up,
then
which
the
is
way
cool.
it transitions when you get to the top of the tower and you go into like that arena space, how the camera just follows you in, like
And then
like,
you're back into a third-person action.
It looks a little cinematic, and I've never really been a fan of fixed camera positions in games, especially like this, you know. But this, it made sense, and it controls well enough that it's not a hindrance.
Yeah,
to me,
especially because you're still in a 3D space, and enemies just aren't on the floor in front of you. They are flying, they are moving, and I think it controls very well. Even though, like you're saying, the camera switching and the locked positions and stuff, I think it's still done well.
What do y'all think about the combat and mechanics?
What about that
and
witch
stuff?
time, guys?
Like, but it's not actually witch time, right? Like you could do special moves out of it. I noticed, but it doesn't actually slow down.
It didn't slow down
or-
time,
Correct.
but it was.
And you don't
like
have a guard or anything, right?
No, you just dodge.
So I'm wondering if they're going to introduce like more layers to the mechanics, because it does seem a little simple right now.
I think like those pod programs, which they don't really get into in the game, but I think that's going to be huge, because like I was looking through that menu. I don't know if you took time to take a look at that, but like everything that is happening in the game, like your mini map, your health bar, like everything is a different program in your robot.
Yeah.
Like he has like a certain slot of like set
You know
of
the robot
like,
that follows
chips.
you around?
Yeah. So like you can customize like the chips that he has equipped. One of them is literally just his operating system. If you remove that, he dies. Like that's all it does.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. One of them is the feature that lets you see what enemy health levels are, like what their health is and what their level is. Like that's another chip inserted in. Like if that's how they're treating this game, if everything is that modular. Like, imagine what they're going to be giving you to actually like swap that out for. Like, what if like later on you're playing this game and you get to a point where it's like, okay, well, maybe I don't need my health bar. I'll just take that out because I need this other thing that lets me do some kind of combat thing.
Yeah.
You know, like
going
like,
into
that's
combat
interesting.
with with a health boost and a defense or something like that
Yeah.
could be more worth it than seeing what your health currently is. Especially because the fact that you'll auto use an item if your health gets too low
Right.
if you have it equipped.
Which is another one of
but
those chips.
wouldn't it be so much better, Crispy, if you got some of those fucking modular chip upgrades from finishing a quest?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that would be awesome.
it might
But that's
be.
what I'm saying.
I know,
That's what
I
I'm saying.
know.
Like, this is set up like a loot system.
Yeah.
Which implies that there should be a lot of different like tasks that you're completing to get rewarded for this, or you're earning a lot of currency, which you do in this demo that you don't do anything with. Where
Also,
are you
the
spending
items
all
you
that?
pick up on the ground.
You know?
And maybe
I
there's
think this
crafting
might
or-
be a little bit more fleshed out than like the way it is in say like
Bayonetta?
Wonderful 101.
No,
Well,
no, no.
I-
But see, that's the thing. Wonderful 101 starts out kind of simple, but you actually
you buy
yeah,
more
there's
systems in the game.
Quite a lot of stuff you unlock, and I believe that stuff's gonna be here as well. Like even in like Transformers, which is a relatively simple like platinum action game, like there was some surprising depth there. Like kind of once you got into it, but I mean, I'm not too worried about this game as a platinum action game. I think it's probably going to be pretty solid on that front. I don't think we should be expecting like a Ninja Turtles here. I think this is going to be pretty good. There is one little thing I'm a little disappointed with, and it's just a symptom of it being a demo, I guess. But you get like there's like 2 weapons or 2 weapon sets, which I think is 4 weapons.
I think so. Yeah.
But they're like all the same.
No matter which one you use, it's very
I
similar.
mean, they're all swords. I want like, the ice skates. I want weapons with personality because you get that out of Bayonetta. And
Dude, I like.
that's what I want.
I would bet money that's gonna happen.
I believe you.
I
mean,
but I didn't get that out of the demo.
Like
I didn't
here's
get
the
that out of
thing.
the
Like
demo.
knowing nothing about this game, just looking at like what they've laid out in this demo and what is presented but not really addressed in the demo, like I got the feeling sitting at home that this was going to be a much bigger, much more complex game than what we were seeing. That this was just more like this is how basic combat works. Like everything, every move that you have is like represented by some sort of item or mechanic in the game. Like even your robot's like little Gatling gun thing is a chip that you can pop out. Like what else goes in there?
See, I kind of
maybe?
wish I had spent more time
Like-
messing around with that or looking.
I
into
looked
it,
at
'cause
that stuff,
really
but there
didn't.
just was nothing to like switch out.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I
there
hope
was
you're
not-
fucking
there-
right.
yeah.
But I mean,
I hope
also
you're right.
look at the property they decided to like. They're making a sequel to Nier,
So
which is
why?
fucking wacky.
What are they doing?
Wacky as hell. So like
This could have just been like
If
they could have
Platinum-
called this Robot Ninja Girl, literally made that the title, and it would have sold better. Because
Yeah.
people are like, hey, that's funny. That's a weird name. This is cool and kooky. I'm gonna get this.
But then again, they're not calling this Nier 2, so people. There's gonna be a lot of
sure,
people who don't even realize there's
Nier
something
is
else.
a bad name for anything. Also, Nier, the name of that character.
Yeah, that is true.
So, what even is this?
Well,
It doesn't really resemble Nier.
I'm
Oh my
sure
God.
there's going to be a connection.
But you didn't know you could switch weapons like that, like quick switch.
You press up on the.
I knew
D-pad.
about that.
Down does healing items.
I didn't find any other weapons. in
Let's
the
talk about
demo.
this boss.
You start with 2.
Well, there's
okay, I thought it was
two.
the same.
There's
Yeah.
duels. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that like?
I
is
know
that
you
like
get your your light attack is that one sword and your heavy attack is the other sword.
But you
Those are
can
the only
use it up
swords
on the
that I-
D-pad, and it's 2 different swords.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Or it like switches.
It doesn't
hands.
change that much, Chris.
It changes the combos.
It changes the combos, but it's not that much of a difference.
I don't know. I want.
You want to see
Oh,
some crazy
remove it.
like
I want to see
guitar
crazy. I want to see
weapons
the crazy
or
because,
whatever
like,
the fuck.
at the end of the day, like, I like the swoopy dodge, but I don't think this game feels as good as Bayonetta. You know, it's nice, but like. And like I was fighting these things, and I was just kind of like shooting them.
Well, yeah,
You know,
no, so was I. So
I
was-
think
I
this
was a lot
game
of-
has potential, but I feel like the demo isn't showing that off as
It
much.
does have damage
Dude,
numbers, which I like.
I think
It's-
I think the game. I think playing this got me, like, I didn't give a shit about this before playing. It got me excited. Like, I want to buy this game when it comes out.
I think, Brett, I'm in
play
your
it.
situation where, on these guys, I was shooting them mainly because it's hard to get up close because their blades are spinning.
Yeah.
And so I would shoot, and then when they'd stop spinning, I would attack. And so I think it's a situation where you just, it's a demo, it's early on or whatever, and then you just don't have a big
but, like,
grasp on the mechanics
I wanted
yet.
to like parry, like even if you like perfect time your dodge, it doesn't like slow down time.
Yeah, that's
you know,
true.
there's no parry. It's literally just, well, I avoided damage. Hopefully, it comes back so I can whack at it some. Like I feel like there was something I was missing here.
Dude, I don't know. Like, especially at the end, the boss fight.
Hey,
like,
I mean, I'm
it
saying.
it displays a lot of like the ingenuity and thinking that I loved about like Wonderful 101 and other Platinum games.
Like when you grab the limb, the robot
yeah.
limb. That's
No, my
just
God, no, not even that.
Yeah.
Like he like punches you far away, and you're in that mech, and it turns into a plane, and then
Yeah.
you're playing like a little bullet hell section to get back to the boss and continue fighting him. Then you rip his fucking arm off and beat him with it. Like
was
so Platinum.
that is so fucking
very
fucking cool.
satisfying,
Like
yeah.
that's really Platinum.
Really, I think it's goofy.
That's what I love. That's what I love. Give it to me. But okay, follow me here for a second. Maybe this is crazy. Maybe I'm extrapolating
Man,
too
Brad
much
sucks.
out of a small bit of data.
I
But
did eat shit, dude.
Please do.
somebody in chat said
should've scrapped this
that
footage.
OS chip, like removing the OS chip, to it, like in the menu when you select that option, it says removing this will cause instant death. He said that's just the option you use in the menu to return to the main menu, right?
Yeah.
If they're characterizing that as being using this will kill you, that seems to imply to me that that's saying it'll kill you. Like think of like a really shoddy example, but think of like a Dark Souls or a Let It Die, where when you're in a dungeon and you quit the game, that counts as a death, right? They're saying if you're quitting the
Wait,
game
is
here,
that-
you're gonna die.
That happens?
Not necessarily. I
Wait,
mean,
what?
if you
counts as a death?
exit properly in Dark Souls, it doesn't cause a death. You just are
No,
where
no,
you
no.
were.
Okay, not Dark Souls. I'm
In
sorry.
Let It Die,
In Let It
In
Die.
Let It Die,
it does.
counts as
You
a
have
In
to
Let
get
It
back
Die,
to
when
the
you're in
lane.
the dungeon, if you quit the game, it counts as a death.
I was about to be like,
and you
holy
reload
shit.
when you reload the game, you're in your waiting room.
Yeah.
Is this something similar to that? Is them saying like your option to return to the main menu counts as a death? Does that mean that you're playing these compact, like self-contained missions, like quests or
Yeah.
something, where it's a dungeon and you have to run through and beat the whole thing before you're allowed to go back to your hub area and save and quit or do whatever
I
you
mean,
want?
Also, is this going to be
That's the biggest lingering question. Like, what?
I mean, that
what
might
is-
be-
like
that
how
might
is this game
be-
structured?
also is it going
A
to be
bit
a
of a
big
stretch, I
story heavy
admit.
thing? Because story is one area where Nier, like, I think nailed it. You know,
Yeah.
like that's a janky game, but it had a really cool story. Platinum Games is not traditionally good at stories. In fact, they're at their best when they do cool, over the top,
action sequences
action
and,
like
yeah.
cutscenes and stuff, and you have characters chewing the scenery, and there was a little bit of dialogue here. It seemed a little stale.
Yeah, a
you know,
little. But
like,
they were
like,
robots. Maybe that's their excuse.
Fuck off. I just
Hey, they're robots.
I've played every Platinum game and I've played every Devil May Cry game, and so I've been seeing these guys do this, what you're seeing here, for a long time. And if you remember, I was a little down on Bayonetta 2 compared to a lot of people, and I expect a lot from Platinum. Look at how they started out with stuff like Mad World and stuff like Vanquish and like the first Bayonetta, and we're seeing them do like crazy innovative things. What I don't want them to do is kind of to get into a comfortable formula, and everything I saw here that wasn't, kind of like, oh well, we got to put that in, that was in Nier, like the bullet hell stuff, like kind of the shooter sequence with your little pod or whatever, was very standard Platinum, and I'm going to be very disappointed if even that boss at the end was like a Bayonetta 2 boss where you're flying around attacking something. You know, I want them to get loco with this shit, because Platinum has done it before, and because Nier was batshit insane.
True. And just on a side note, and this is something Clef mentioned, I remember them talking about this back when they first announced this game, about who was involved with this project, and the original writer from Nier is handling the story in this game. I don't think this is being written in-house by
Correct. I
by
mean,
Platinum,
from
Which
what
is-
I understand, the
lot of-
story writer, the director, the composer, they're all here, but in what capacity?
I mean, they still got to apply their craft to a Platinum game, as opposed to what it was before, which is totally different, it seems. So, who knows? But you're right. I don't want them to get too comfortable because this is one of the few studios that tends to produce like really shocking stuff. But
Scalebound's coming, and I don't think that's going to be comfortable at all. So that's nice, but
like we said, this is a demo. Like this is very much. Not to mention, like demos are intended to sell products, like sell games. So like it would make sense for them to produce a demo that was maybe perhaps more comfortable than what the actual product is, because that's what sells. Like they want to make the most consumer friendly demo they possibly can. Like if you played a demo of this and then you bought it and it was more like the original Nier, like I feel like a lot of people would be super stoked about that, but they wouldn't have bought it if like the demo we had played was more similar to what we know Nier to be.
As much
I don't think that's necessarily the case.
But also keep in mind that Platinum Games has never had a financial success except maybe Metal Gear Rising, and that's probably for other reasons.
Yeah.
So, I mean, hopefully that helps it sell, but to what extent, who knows? Like I think this is just a weird project altogether. I'm glad it exists for sure. Like who even ever thought we'd be getting more? I mean,
no, this was the game that was this announced last E3?
The E3 before that.
Yeah.
Sure? Yeah.
It was a while ago.
That was the year that we knew going into it there was going to be some kind of, there was like someone who was tweeting about E3 was like there's one game that no one's going to see coming, and like we were trying to guess it all week, and then they finally announced it, and we're like, what? Are you fucking kidding? Brad almost lost his mind when they announced this game.
No, no shit. I mean, it is kind of like a dream project for me.
I think this was this E3, wasn't it?
No, because I wasn't at this E3. Yeah.
Oh, you're right. That was the last one Brad was at.
It was last year. It was last year.
Because I remember sitting across, we were in Shy's place, I remember sitting looking Brad in the eyes as he saw this game being
That's
announced.
the one where like, this was like, I had the Federation Force where I'm going, I want to die, and then I have the Nier one where it's me.
Everything's okay
It's
now.
the exact opposite, yeah. I had the two polar reactions.
So yeah, that's Nier Automata. I think the game comes out in March, right? Like March 17th or something like that. So
something like that. Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. But there's two other big demos to talk about. Talk about Gravity Rush. Who all here played? I know Nolan played Gravity Rush before the show. Crispy, I'm guessing, probably didn't.
No,
I
didn't.
Well, let's talk about Gravity Rush 2. Brad, you played it too.
Yes.
Are we gonna get to watch the terrible footage? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we just watched terrible footage.
I've had. Hey, I was doing fine in Nier. Come on.
Hey, Brad, can you turn your mic down just a hair? Just a hair.
Well,
just ever so slightly.
So I have had Gravity Rush on Vita for as long as I've had a Vita. Actually, since before I had a Vita.
Gravity Rush 1 is like the game I played the most of.
But I never played it.
Yeah.
I played like very little of it. Because, they had announced that remaster, and I kept telling myself, I'll get to the remaster, and then I never really had time to play the remaster. I'm bad at this. I mean, it's very hard to kind of, you control gravity. And any direction you aim and you hit a button and gravity changes. So it's very easy to get disoriented and kind of lose track of the camera, especially in combat. So you're looking at this footage and it's going to look like maybe I'm not doing so hot. Well, not so much here when I'm just sort of flying around, but when I get into combat it's very disorienting.
Combat has a tendency to get a little disorienting.
So my question for you guys is does this feel better than that first game? Is it worse in terms of that disorienting shit? Or
I've played about half, if not more than half, of the original Gravity Rush on Vita. I did not play the remaster. And honestly, as far as like moving around the world, this feels to me almost exactly the same. It does. And I honestly thought, like, considering what the mechanic is and how you're shifting the direction of gravity in like your own little personal space, it's kind of a weird concept to wrap your head around. So I never really expected it to work very well, but I got really good at it playing the first Gravity Rush, and this feels just about the same. So, but it is weird. Like, I don't really know how else to. it's not your average like
It takes getting
traversal.
used to.
It's
'Cause-
not. This is what I fucking want from Platinum, by the way. I mean,
Something-
something fucking different.
I mean, that is one thing I like. Like one thing I'll say about Gravity Rush, like the one thing I absolutely kind of hate about Gravity Rush, and unfortunately it's carried over to the sequel. It just kind of like the same way I felt about the first Mirror's Edge. I fucking hate how they tell. Like, I hate the stupid
Cutscene
cutscenes.
stories.
I hate them. I think
They look kind of
manga
cool, though.
panels.
I wish there was voice dialogue, but
Yeah.
I
I like the comic book
it puts me to
style, I
sleep.
guess.
It kind of puts me to sleep, and I'm really hoping that they can maybe.
But that's just a writing.
I'm
issue,
hoping
probably.
that like the writing itself, like I'm hoping the story is actually maybe interesting. Because I like the one thing I'll say about the first game is really fun to control and play with, but like I never once felt like invested in the story or the characters.
Yeah, it's a
and,
writing issue.
yeah, and I'm hoping that maybe this one can fix some of that, but based on what I've seen in the demo, not so much. But
It's crazy though. This, you know who makes this game, right?
you have to remind me. But I
These are the team that made Gravity Rush is former Team Silent.
from Siphon. Wait,
No, Team Silent.
like Silent Hill?
Yes, Team Silent. Like a lot of those guys left, and then they went to make the Siren series,
Yeah,
and these are the same people.
that's fucking weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did not know that actually.
So it's like, hey, these people do know how to tell a story. It's just maybe not in this series.
One thing I will say, like I think this game, like they've kind of expanded the scope of it. They obviously it looks like visually it's more colorful. It looks beautiful. Like I think this game looks stunning, and it looks
does look good.
it looks really really good. And
Yeah, I mean it's fluid and stuff. Like when you're just flying
going on
through
with
the
the
air
footage?
and
what's going on with the footage? It's kind of
I mean, I
like
don't
crazy.
know.
It looks like you could capture it at too high of a bit rate, so XSplit's having trouble like encoding both it and us. So
yeah, I mean it's just
This is what you hate?
Yeah,
this stuff
Nick doesn't
actually
like
looks pretty
comic
cool.
books.
No,
Oh,
but no, it's not the art. It's just like
Does this mean
the
you
writing
hate
that goes
Crispy?
with it is just boring.
Huh?
Like visually, I think it looks fine. It's just like there's no voice acting to go with it except for like where they do like like gasps and stuff, and
Yeah,
then
it's
the writing,
fireable.
like the dialogue you're reading is just cringeworthy in my opinion. So far, what we've read is just not good.
It's just not that very that captivating.
Like if they could tell an interesting story and make compelling characters, like sure, I'd be totally fine with it. But like they have yet to prove themselves.
it's a
in that
budget thing
department.
for sure.
Oh, no, yeah.
That's just a way to like as stylistically as possible tell a story without actually.
I just kind of
doing cutscenes and
sure.
voice work. I mean, this
Yeah.
like it's crazy that this game looks as crazy and cool and fluid as it does, yet they put so little effort.
Yeah,
into,
see, that's like there's a big disparity between like how good everything else around.
but it's got a
is.
style to it.
It
so,
does
I
have
mean,
style, but
yeah,
like
they did the best they could. I guess.
sure, and you know what? And I'm not trying to say it really it just comes down to the writing, because if they could tell a really compelling story with that same art style, that same like comic
Max
book
Payne
style,
did it back in the day.
When you're talking about these being ex Team Silent guys, I mean, are they programmers or are they writers?
probably mostly programmers. I'm
Like-
going to assume.
Seems like maybe.
I mean, I doubt you're gonna find. I mean, I could be totally off on this because I haven't looked it up, but I would be very very surprised if this shares the same writer as like Silent Hill 2. Like I would be very very surprised. But I don't know. I mean, it's fun.
So, I mean,
this
I'll-
mechanic of flying around the world is
But
fun.
you can find like crystals and
No,
stuff
here's the
too,
thing,
right? I'm
here's the-
hoping
correct,
the crackdown element makes this. fun.
yeah, so there is a crackdown element to the crystals you find in the world. There's also the crystals that just restore your
The only
energy
problem with
for
that
controlling gravity.
comparison with Crackdown is because in this game you can get anywhere you want because you can always shift gravity and fly there.
Correct.
Crackdown, it was like a platformer. You
Yeah,
had
it
to
was
Yeah.
the challenge of
strategically
figure it
pick-
out.
yeah.
That's a good fucking
if you,
point.
If you need to get something high up, you just fly above it, and then you kind of position yourself at it, and you aim right at it, and you fly down and you hit it.
right.
Which feels cool, looks cool, but it is not the same as like really trying to make that jump and crack
Figure
down to
out
reach.
like yeah.
I
eventually
don't
work.
think it's going to be that same vein of trying to find them all and having that because that's how you, like what you're saying. I think they're just that's an element that they're going to be there as like a currency, but I don't think it's going to be like the agility orbs.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
of Crackdown.
I want to see like I want to see, because like the first game takes place almost entirely in this like one kind of environment. I want to see like if they can expand it out and do some cool stuff with level design, it could be great.
different parts of the world.
As it just I know I don't want to. I thought of an example of Crispy when I'm talking about the writing. Like, and I was watching Nolan do this before. There is a story scene that is told through this comic book style.
Okay.
That is literally, you get a piece of meat on a stick from a vendor, and a bird flies down and steals it from you and flies away, and you're like, no, come back! I've got to catch that bird! And then you fly after a bird to get your meat stick back.
That's the dialogue.
More or less, that's like, hey, come back here! Like, and then you chase the bird, and it's just, and then like this other vendor is like counting stuff, and like there's like 4 panels, comic book panels of her just like, of the guy just counting, like 1, 2, and it's just like, I just found myself losing my patience reading it, which I didn't expect to happen in the demo.
At least since it's not voice acted, you could read it really quick.
The story guy on this game, on the first Gravity Rush, was a background designer on Silent Hill.
Okay, well, but the writer, like the background designer, did the story
For the first Gravity Rush.
There we go. What about the second one? That's what I mean, it's probably the same writer, or
Maybe.
it seems pretty similar to the writing in Gravity Rush 1.
Well, I don't know. So I will say that I did enjoy this. Controlling gravity and the combat took a little bit getting used to, but once you get the hang of it, I think it flows pretty well.
One thing they did in this one that I don't know if they did in the last one, in combat, is so you can when you're on the ground, you can create like an orb of, what do they call it? Like a stasis field.
Yeah,
around
stasis
you.
field. Yeah.
You tap circle, I think it is, and like in a short radius around you, the gravity just goes away. So like boxes and tables and stuff will like start floating around you, and then this little reticle will appear that you can use to target enemies, and you can just rapid fire the circle button, and you'll just start shooting, like lobbing things that are floating in that stasis field, which are that's really cool. I think they may have done something similar in Gravity Rush 1, if I remember correctly, but it seems improved and maybe a little more fleshed out in this one. God, Brad, what are you doing?
He's doing his best, Nick. He's doing his best.
No, I know. I'm just like, this footage.
I'm saying it's very
struggling.
fucking disorienting.
It is. But you get better at it. I'll tell you that. You do get better at it the more you play.
I don't
for
get
sure.
better, not in this demo.
Well, no,
things get worse.
Yeah, but I mean, if you actually sit down to play this game, you do get better at it.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Okay.
Yeah, this is just Brad doing poorly. I don't know. I'm excited for it.
I do want to play it. I fully intend to play this game when it comes out. I just hope it, because like the first one I kind of lost interest in after a while, because the story wasn't great, and all I really had to keep me going was the mechanic. But like it is a little bit of a one-trick pony in the first one. Like this is the trick.
This is different styles, which I couldn't quite get the hang of.
Yeah, and that's that.
There was like this swoopy kick style, and I just.
This seems like they've added several new things mechanically to
The
it.
swoopy kick style is very. I mean, Brad, you just aim the reticle at the enemy and you hit him.
Well, I missed, and now I'm falling.
Well, the problem I think, Brad, you were having was you were putting the enemy between you. Like you were just trying to you were trying to draw a line from yourself to the enemy when you need to use the reticle. Like the camera is like off center. It's not like directly behind you. It's like off center a bit, and so that's why that reticle is very important, especially when you're doing things in the air.
You know what I find the most effective? Just using telekinesis, or I guess gravity powers, to like throw shit at the enemies.
Yeah, no, that is very easy. Because like Nick was saying earlier, you just use the reticle and you aim and you throw it,
There is like 2 different demos here. First time I played it, it was completely different, and I fought like a weird boss that's completely different than the one I fought.
For Gravity Rush 2?
Yeah.
There's two. There's 2 different.
Well, no, it's the same demo, but I did like beginner tutorial, and then I did advanced, and it was like 2 different demos. Like,
well, that's good to know. I thought the demo was rather short. Maybe I did the beginner demo as well.
Did you do all this stuff? Did you get the two different styles?
Oh,
like the heavy style and the swoopy style?
I didn't know it gives you different like abilities and stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
Well,
like
I need to go play the.
Did you play this demo, Nick?
Not apparently all of it. Which I'm gonna go do that now.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
free,
and that beginner demo,
it's cool.
Like a big googly. I mean, like not googly, like a slimy, like a goo boss. Popped out.
That's what
I stood next to a truck full of like wooden pallets and just palleted him to death. I didn't fly anywhere. I just kept throwing pallets at him and he died.
Imagine that.
Yeah. But with this, I'm getting different styles and stuff, and this one is the heavy style, which lets me do like super ground pound, charge attack.
Guys, I think this game comes out the same day as Resident Evil 7.
I believe so.
Holy
yeah,
shit, that was actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm worried that this game, no one's gonna buy this game.
It probably won't sell.
I think that's
amazing.
probably a common theme with all the major games we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah.
Is that no one's going to buy them.
Yeah.
I'm planning on buying at least 2 of them. Anyways, that's Gravity Rush 2.
I'm into swoopy style. Oh, no.
Yeah. The demo I played definitely didn't have the different styles. So, and actually the demo I played was the exact same demo they had at E3, I think. So I'm gonna play the other one because I think that one is new. So yeah, let's talk about. We have one more demo to talk about.
No, Nick, this comes out the Friday before Resident Evil.
Oh, okay.
So you have the weekend to play.
There you go.
Sweet.
Do it to it.
Cool.
I'll be disappointed if like nobody picks up that game.
Which one?
Resident Evil?
No. Gravity Rush. I have a feeling like no one's gonna play it.
It does have
Here.
the thing is, I will give it this. It does have a very attractive like. I haven't seen the box art yet, but I feel like
The box art looks good.
The concept art that I've seen and whatnot, I feel like it have a very attractive shelf presence. You know
Oh
what I mean?
yeah, definitely.
Like I feel like it would catch people's
Sure.
eye walking through a store.
Well, that's what
certain
Nick
kind
likes,
of people.
Brad.
But you also got to understand that like it's a Japanese game from appealing to people who like Japanese games, coming out in the same month as
Resident Evil 7.
Resident Evil 7,
Japanese
as
game.
Yakuza 0, and as the new Tales of game. You know, for a January where nothing really comes out, that's a lot of big Japanese games from Namco, from Sega, from Sony,
does have-
from Capcom, all in one tight 2-week space, and it's like, come on.
True.
man.
Tight package.
Couple things though. Couple things.
Tight package.
Actually, 3 things to consider. 1,
No.
they did give it a free demo. That'll help.
Sure.
2, they released the remaster of the first one on PS4, which is
You know what they should have done? Made that a PS Plus game a couple months ago.
I mean,
That
that would be hard. It just came out not too long ago.
it
I'm
still
sure
would
they
have
wanted-
probably helped a lot.
I'm sure they wanted. No, I agree
With the
that
sale
making
of
it a
this
PS Plus game would help it
or at least
sell.
give it like a hefty discount or something on as a
Which
PlayStation
thing
Plus.
is
Make
sale.
it a
on sale.
pre-order bonus.
Oh, and then third,
That's a good one. I mean, there
Third.
was a time.
Yeah.
third, you have to consider also it is on a platform with an actual install base now.
Yeah.
The first one came out exclusively for the Vita.
Yeah.
And Jesus Christ, I can't even imagine how little that game
Wasn't
sold.
the whole thing with the Vita that it used the touchpad a lot?
Yeah, you could use it. I can't remember.
Is that not?
Well,
how-
I use the gyro.
Yeah, you could
to aim.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
It doesn't do anything like that here.
No,
Good.
Yep.
Get them gimmicks out of my games.
precisely. All right, Brad. I think Brad's the only one who
Yeah,
played
let's
this
talk
next
about this.
demo.
See, this was on the Japanese store. So.
Yeah, I was looking for it on Saturday and I couldn't find it. I guess.
Well, this comes out also next month, also in January in Japan. But again, it's a little weird that they're throwing all these together. So Valkyria Revolution, as y'all know, I'm a big Valkyria Chronicles fan.
Oh, really?
I think we all are at this point.
Yeah.
In fact, this is Valkyria Chronicles is the only game. I know this is
To get Game of the Year from everybody.
the year came out. We all 4 of us gave it Game of the Year. The year came out. So
Which was crazy.
has never happened and probably never will happen again. But we loved the original Valkyria Chronicles.
What is Valkyria Chronicles? It is a tactical strategy RPG, right? I mean, it's a tactical game.
This looks weird. What's going on here?
I'm hitting
This is a
dudes with my
tactical
big ass
strategy game,
sword.
Chris. Does this not look like a tactical strategy game to you?
Does not look.
Well, okay, so they did shoehorn in some stuff in an
Where's the
attempt
map?
to kind of be. So
Why are you running around so freely?
they got a lot of shit early on when they first announced this game, and they first started showing off this game that it was too actiony. So they kind of tried to put some like systems in there that made it kind of resemble a Valkyria game, and you know they are in there. So you can kind of play it like turn-based, if you will. I mean, even in action, you can't even just well on your sword forever because at a certain point you have to pause for a second for a meter to recharge so you can attack again. But it's like super quick. And anytime that meter recharges to where you could attack again, you could actually just pull up your menu to stop time. And you can't do it like infinitely. You see how the word ready appears over him? Every time that happens means he can attack again, or he can pull up this menu to stop time, and you can issue commands like aim your gun. I haven't figured out how to aim my gun in real time, but I can aim my gun when I pause time to make it more tactical. You can also switch characters and have them issue commands for them to do. In fact, if anything, it feels real overpowered because when you're executing the attack, time doesn't advance. So, for example, you can stop time, aim a grenade, throw the grenade. They won't move as you throw the grenade. It'll blow up before anybody can move. So it actually feels overpowered. Why would you even play the game in real time? Fully real time.
Does this look? Something about this just does not look good.
I mean, no. I mean,
just from a visual standpoint,
this doesn't. It's not an amazing looking game. It doesn't run all that amazing either.
Which sucks because the first one looked amazing.
Oh, it's a beautiful game. Good. This does try to have it does have kind of a filter. It's not the same kind of filter, but I think they're at least trying to make it look like a Valkyria game. There are sandbags that you can take cover behind, but you have a big
with your sword.
Yeah, I mean, which is weird, right? Because you could just walk up to the guy and wail on them.
Yeah, it's a little odd.
I do fight a boss here, and when you fight the boss, anytime it does a big attack, it shows a big red spot on the ground for where that attack is going to land.
What?
So you are kind of dodging out of the way of attacks, and you can kind of time it and play it a little.
Dude, it looks like they're trying to be new Final Fantasy.
Looks a little Kingdom Heartsy.
I'm really disappointed.
It looks like the Final Fantasy characters that were in Kingdom Hearts.
God,
that's what that looks like.
The beautiful thing about Valkyria Chronicles was that it had even the character design was super consistent.
Because they were a military unit. They had
yeah. I mean, there were some crazier characters. I mean, the character you see on the left on the banner, that is a character that is a somewhat exaggerated take on Sylvaria from the first Valkyria Chronicles. There's been big busty, fancy haired, colored hair, characters before.
Sure.
But it was a little, for a Japanese game, it did seem a little understated, I guess, compared to a lot of stuff that's very anime heavy. The story didn't get too crazy until the end. It was more of just, hey, these people, this small unit is trying to survive in this war,
I'm just one thing.
But what? I mean, I don't know.
I'm watching this footage, and what seems cool to me. So you're pulling up, I guess that tactical menu or whatever.
Exactly.
I guess. And you're issuing commands, and it looks like you're highlighting areas where you're going to do an area of attack.
Yeah.
Right, which looks like it should be really satisfying. But then when the actual animations of the attacks happen, and you hit the enemies, it does not look satisfying.
It's not eventful. I mean,
I remember
like a great feeling game is in the details, and this game just doesn't have it.
Landing a shot in the original Valkyria Chronicles.
So great! It was so great.
So good. What the fuck is this?
It's not Valkyria Chronicles, and I don't know what this is, who this is for. I'm finding it real disappointing. You could have maybe fixed a lot of things about Valkyria Chronicles, sure, but the way that game played was not its issue. They made refinements on that with the sequels. They fucked up other things, but they actually improved the combat over the series. But, this doesn't have, the original game had, memorable map design. It, the placement of the enemies on those maps are what gave that map its identity, It wasn't just, there wasn't a horde of dudes spawning in and then I'd start welling away on them. Everything here seems lazy and insignificant. Like there is no real map design here or level design. I'm just walking forward, fighting, waves of dudes. Do you get a tank in this? I don't fucking know. This does not seem Valkyria Chronicles. There's a part coming up where this is it. I've been welling on dudes with this chick and killing lots of guys, but cutscene girl can't handle it. She gets some blood on her hands and has a freak out, oh my god, I've killed a bunch of dudes up to this point. So I don't know why, cutscene blood is so much more emotional.
Well, Brett, I don't know if you know
the
this.
Adrenaline.
The gameplay director of this game actually wrote Silent Hill 2.
Oh man.
Sorry.
This team, forget what they're called, but they've made stuff. I believe these are like, I think this is the Wild Arms guys.
What?
I think they made like, I can't fucking remember, but like this team back in the day used to make like cool shit. They just suck now, and that's unfortunate.
It's no fun.
Yeah, we've been waiting for years for Valkyria Chronicles to make a return to console.
This didn't.
And this is what we get.
Seem great.
Does not seem fair.
Does seem like there's a lot of story. I couldn't understand any of it, but
Which is
they went on and on. Like that first cutscene, I think was just the start of the game because it went on for like half an hour
God.
It's a little much.
of characters talking to each other. So I don't know. Maybe not that long, but yeah.
Well, are you gonna play this when it comes out, Brad?
I mean, I don't think so, man. I don't know. We'll see. Like if the
see the reviews.
if
see
it,
how-
yeah,
see the,
Haven't you played all the others?
yeah,
yes.
I have. But those are completely different types.
You're
of
gonna
games.
you're gonna let this one beat you?
You know, it's like I really love Final Fantasy, so I'm gonna play Dirge of Cerberus.
Wait, did
No,
you
don't.
finish
I played Dirge
Dirge?
of Cerberus.
I'm sorry.
Did you finish Valkyria Chronicles 3?
No, I did not.
Did you finish 2?
No, I did not. So that first Valkyria Chronicles is like a 25-hour, 30-hour like tight game. Like the sequels are like super like grindy 60-hour fucking like they just do on and on and on.
Like I love some Valkyria
Dude,
Chronicles, but
I
maybe not
mean,
that much.
Well,
okay?
the
Yeah,
problem
but
is the
it's
map.
like
You
60
fight
hours
on
of
the
those
same
tiny
maps
maps.
over and they're tiny little maps, not memorable, and you fight on them over and over and over and over again, and you're grinding away for these things that let you class up, and if you don't get them, you can't class up. Those sequels had issues.
It seems to me like
And 3
maybe-
was just like a reskin of 2 almost. You were doing some of the same maps from 2, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, I got sick of these in 2.
I feel like
That first one though is.
I
an
feel like
amazing
Valkyria Chronicles is maybe just doomed to be like remembered like that for that one original game, which kind of fucking
Well,
sucks.
no, I mean, I'm being completely serious when I say that, like, 2 and 3, it seriously introduced some cool ass shit. You know, like the fucking class that had a wrench, a giant wrench, and a fucking shield, and you could like that shield class when he ended his turn would slam that shield into the ground, and it would like
Create
open
cover.
up, and you could use that as cover for other characters. That shit was just fucking cool. And they reorganized all the classes, and they made that stuff a lot deeper. You know, like when you classed up, you could go down different paths and you know, specialize.
Dude, that sounds really cool.
It was cool.
But Valkyria Chronicles 1 is just it's like I feel like that game is like the game's like it runs a tight ship. It's pretty
Yeah.
it's
No,
it's
for
close
sure.
to
Yeah.
perfect. Like
For
that
sure,
game
for sure.
Like
I mean,
if
there
they never
are-
made a sequel to that game,
There are times when
know?
you know giving trees that you can path down aren't always a good thing.
Yeah.
You know, just because I
Well.
have the option to do this, that, and that doesn't mean that's good. Doesn't mean I'm gonna take advantage of that. You know, like Nick was saying, running a
sometimes
tight
there's
ship.
just too many choices.
Yeah, running a tight ship can sometimes make the game that much more
Sure,
better of an experience
Sure.
because you're not maybe fucking yourself by doing too much over here or this. It's very balanced in a certain way. So I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah. They rebalanced
Crispy,
some
you
stuff.
played the original, didn't you?
Yeah. I have like 2 copies of it.
That first one did have some balance issues. Like certain orders were so overpowered, you can run through the entire map with
Oh,
Alicia without. You can like
That's like
run all the way through that map with that defensive order, and the blind fire just like you just run through like all the suppression or the interrupt
Yeah.
fire. Get to that final base, grenade that last dude, and just capture and like win the map on the first try. But yeah, I mean
But to an extent, you can kind of do that in real life sometimes.
That's true. That's true.
You
Look
get
at
in
this
there, sneak
rad
past
boss.
all the
But the
people,
first
kill
game-
Hitler.
But the
game over.
first game had Jan.
But this one has robot dinosaurs.
But the first
Uh-oh,
one had
Nick,
Jan.
robot dinosaurs.
Shut the fuck up. I'm gonna get my fair share of robot dinosaurs in February. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a reference to Horizon Zero
No,
Dawn.
no, I
Okay,
got it,
Just
I
making
got
sure
it,
everybody
I
caught
got
that. Okay, very excited for that game. All right, let's go ahead and I know before we cut the break, Nolan, I know you wanted to reminisce a little bit about Watch Dogs 2. You've been playing more of that.
I did play it before the show last week, and I was enjoying it, but I've been started playing it more, and I've been enjoying it a lot more. Like I really like the characters in this game. Marcus, the main character, he's fucking great.
How
Like
long have you played so far?
I'm about 10 hours in.
Okay.
He just like you do this one mission where you're like joining like or trying to get some information out of a guy who's like kind of trying to join like a Scientology type church. Have you done that mission?
No, I haven't
Like,
touched it in a while.
Like he goes in there and he's talking to the guy and he's like wearing this white suit. He's supposed to be like one of the, what are they called, the Scientologists, like that
Church of the New Dawn.
well, yeah,
the auditors.
Yeah, the auditor. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Auditor. Like he's like an auditor for the church, and he goes in there and he's wearing this white suit and he's talking all proper and he's asking him questions. And then once he gets the information out of him that he wants, he's like, "All right, well I'm gonna go. By the way, your last couple of movies, they haven't been that good, so act better. I'm out. Peace." And then he like walks out the door. And I was like, that's fucking odd. Like he's so much better than fucking Aiden, right?
Aiden
Pierce.
Yeah.
He's so much better of a character. He's so much more, and the group you were with are so much. The characters are so much more interesting.
It's a very colorful cast.
Like Wrench, like the guy that's in like the fucking mask the whole time.
Yeah.
Like I just one mission where we go to essentially what is Burning Man.
Yeah.
And like he has this weird fucking helmet, but then this like leather bodysuit with his ass hanging out, and he's like
He's wearing
dancing.
assless chaps,
Yeah, ashless chaps, and he's like dancing at this thing.
He's got like the fucking Road Warrior.
You
Yeah.
know what? That sounds
Shoulder pad.
goofy.
Dude, it's fucking amazing.
Good goofy.
And I'm really enjoying the characters.
Which is good because
That's all-
I've been kind of thinking about awards, and I feel like this has not been a great year for new characters,
there's been a few.
which is an
Man,
award we give.
I'll tell you what though. Going through my trying to finalize my top 10 list, there's a couple games that I came across where I was like, I did not expect good characters to come out of this
that
game.
game, yeah.
But it's happened a few times.
Like the whole like CTOS was kind of always silly. And it makes so much more sense in this game because while you still can hack cameras and stuff, I find myself very rarely doing that.
Yeah.
I'm more often using my drone and my quadcopter because that just makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
Even if you are in a world where you can like hack shit, it makes so much more sense to have be flying a drone around as opposed to like hacking cameras. That's just kind of weird.
the jury's still out on why they put their grenades on a Wi-Fi network or whatever.
Yeah, that is still out there. But then the other thing is the fucking invasions. Oh my god. I was talking about it before the show. I played the game for about 10 hours. I've probably done 4.5 hours of invading other people's games just because it is so much like fun. And it's
Are you getting something out of it?
yeah, you get like followers, so you can level up and you can get money. No, like you say, like yeah, kind of. I bought a quadcopter in the game as soon as I had enough money, and so I had no money left. So I could make invasions better, and then X amount of invasions later, I don't know how many, maybe like an hour or 2 hours, I had like $300,000 in cash.
Yeah,
which you don't do a whole lot with.
They
But
don't make the rewards or the penalties really like
The penalty's
that
not that
crazy.
steep, no.
Because it's so like, oh my god, there's nothing. I don't know. There's nothing worse in the world than just trying I was like 12 hours into this game, just trying to get through the fucking storyline, and then they started throwing like invaders at me all the time. And
It just derailed.
I just drive away. I'm just like, okay, whatever, take it. You're a dick, and this isn't fun. Like, it's not fun to
You
me.
gotta fight
the
back.
The problem is that it's the
That's kind of like me
the
playing
experience.
Dark Souls.
The experience is so the experience is so unbalanced though. Like in Dark Souls, if somebody invades you, you're just fighting somebody. You're just using the same battle mechanics that they are to fight you, right?
Yeah.
There are these weird esoteric rules that I still don't get. I always forget what's going on when I'm being invaded. Like if you're an invader, or if you're invading, you can't damage the other person. Like you can't shoot them.
If you're invading someone, you're not there to hurt them. You're there to hack them.
If they're invading you, there were times where I was driving, I was just in the world trying to get to my next location, and it put me in somebody else's game, and it was like, hey, there's another player running around, hack them, and I'm like, no. I ran up to him and tried to shoot him and nothing happened, and he just turned around and killed me, and it's like, you failed your invasion. I'm like, I don't want to be invading.
Can't you turn that off?
Yeah, there's a
You can't
fucking
turn that
option
off.
somewhere, but I
Yeah.
thought it was off, but I don't know how to turn it off. I don't know. It's just
So I've only been invaded myself once or twice. I've been doing a lot of the invading, and I can understand, and I've talked about it's kind of Spy Party-esque in the sense that when you're invading someone, you're in the constant fear that they're going to find you and kill you, and when you are being invaded, you're in the constant fear of, oh fuck, I can't find them, which is kind of like the fun aspect of that game. And I can understand why you might not necessarily want to do it, which is why they do give you an option to turn off invasions completely. But I've been enjoying it myself too, especially because like just little things like you can give the drone taunts, and so you can be driving that around, and sometimes like if they're searching for me, maybe they throw out their drone. I'll like drive up to them because they're on the computer. I'll be like, hey, fuck you. Like the drone will say like stuff like that, like I'm over here, fuck you. And then just like little taunts. Unfortunately, you can't taunt with the quadcopter, just the drone.
I liked your incident today or yesterday with the.
Yeah, and that's another. Like I came across a guy who was trying to hack, and he was in a scissor lift driving it around a parking lot, and so
he's
like
literally in like a Walmart parking lot in a scissor lift, like the thing way like elevated way up high, just driving in circles, and I was like, that's ridiculous.
And so I go and I hack the guy, and so he starts freaking out, and so as soon as he stops hacking that scissor lift, I start hacking it, and so he can't use it, and so he's at the very highest level of it, and so he just starts shooting people while he's on it, and I'm like driving it around in this parking lot, crashing into things, and it's just fun. Yeah, bushes are OP. You just hide in a bush, and they can't find you.
Always look in the bushes, Crispy.
But that being said, I've been caught in bushes several times.
Dude, there was one where like I was getting hacked by a guy, and there was nothing I could do about it.
Yeah.
Like I just had to let it happen because the way the game positioned us, he was up on this like highway overpass, and I was down on a construction site, and it would take me longer to drive around to get up to where he is to kill him than it would than there was time on the hack timer.
Yeah.
It was just okay, I guess fuck you, I'm leaving.
And like you were saying, honestly, the consequence for being hacked is not that
It's
high.
not, and that's what pisses me off because they want to make it like, oh, it's a fun little thing you can do, but like you don't really get that much out of it. You don't really do anything to the other person. So they have to limit how much interaction you actually have in that world. Like it seems like such a fucking like token
trivial
cop out like bullshit.
It seems like a missed opportunity.
A good hacking game should be like EVE Online. It should be like
fuck up, Brad.
No, I'm being fucking serious. Like you know about EVE Online, right?
Yeah.
Like, people write books about that shit.
I played the 12-hour fucking tutorial to EVE Online.
But real EVE Online is reading about stories about the stuff about the people who really play EVE Online. Right. About, setting up these elaborate like factions and then spending years infiltrating another just so you can make everything go to shit. Like that is what a good hacking multiplayer game should be.
I don't think I would ever take it as far as Brad, but I would say maybe meet in the middle and just make the stakes higher.
Yeah, I mean,
make it.
So I will say
that there's an actual incentive on both sides.
I've done many of these hacking things. I will say that it's not as it could be more fleshed out. So it's more difficult as the hacker in this game because they have quadcopters, and so now even if you are high or low, they can find you more easily. But in a situation like you were in,
just hack me.
Well, hold on,
and I'll never find you.
I was in a situation where I hacked someone who was, I think, probably at that same construction site, and I was on a highway overpass, and they were running around, and I was like, hey, they could have just used their quadcopter to find me, and that would stop the hack. But then I just hop in my car and drive away, and there's no way they can catch me, so I still win. I just don't win as much.
It's so weird.
So it's like the stakes are weird. In the last game, I thought that. So the last game, I don't think it wasn't as vertical. For one thing.
No.
Secondly, there was no quadcopter thing, so I feel like the hacking took a little longer. But then also, I thought you could fight against it a little more in the last game. Like you could do those blackouts and do this, and while you can do that in this game, it's not as prominent. It doesn't last very long, and so I don't know. They've changed things up in a weird way.
The blackouts are my favorite.
So yeah,
every time we talk about
I know, because that was literally one of the coolest things they did all year.
It's becoming like singularity.
It was a really cool effect. I agree. It was nice to do.
They toned it down.
But because I have fun fucking with other people because I know I'm not hurting them that much. I'm slowing them down for like a minute. But then, as you know, I hide somewhere, and then I'm like, I keep hacking vehicles, because in this game you can remotely hack a vehicle to make it drive off, and stuff like that, and like freaking them out because like vehicles are like driving this way and that way, and they're trying to find me, and that's why I have fun doing it. Just and it's not just that. I mean, there was multiple times where like a highlight went up the other day of me dancing in a fucking donut shop kitchen as the guy was running around trying to find me.
I'm just a little worried. Like I think you should stick with it. I'm just a little worried that, dude, I played like 14, 16 hours of that game, and after a while, like, it's just like, okay, I'm done. Like I didn't see the end of the game. I don't give a shit about the story anymore. Like,
okay,
like, I don't know. Like, I want somebody besides Chris Davis to tell me that this is a worthwhile experience all the way through.
Okay, I'll let you know.
Wait, does Chris Davis play this game all the way through?
I don't know if he's finished it, but he did play it at least. Okay, he did finish it.
Okay,
I think
he really finished it even.
One day in the not too distant future, I'm going to play this game with the intention of finishing it. I own it. There's other things happening right now. Anyways, we need to take a break. Yeah. We'll come back. I think I'm gonna have Chris Davis come in here real quick to talk about Shadow Tactics. Right? Is that what it's called? Shadow Tactics. And then we'll do questions from our patrons, as we always do. So if you're watching us live, don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a moment. And if you're not watching us live, don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a few seconds.
And we're back. Hey. Nick's out because Chris Davis is in. Talking about Shadow Tactics.
I'm talking about the one game that is actually a retail release on the show this week. Shadow Tactics, Blades of the Shogun.
I mean, really? Was this game at retail?
Yes.
This is a digital game, not full price.
Whatever. It's a full game
Could you
release.
buy it on a disc?
Is it
No, I bought it on Steam.
I don't know if this is a full
Oh,
retail.
shut the fuck
Is it
up.
60? Is it 50?
This is, it's $40.
Whoa.
That seems a lot for a download-only game.
Whoa.
So that's like a 2/3 retail
What the fuck are
release.
you talking about?
That's a lot for a download-only game.
Talk about
but not
Shadow
enough.
Tactics.
Shadow Tactics,
Make it
Blades of the
full.
Shogun is a real-time strategy stealth game. It's from Mimimi Productions. It's a German developer. This is like their first really big title. They've mostly been known for like little mobile and phone games and stuff like that. But this came out the same day as The Last Guardian and Dead Rising 4 and whatever else came out that week. And but despite that, it got really fucking good reviews across the board. And so just based on reviews alone, I decided to try it. I know nothing about the game. I think I'd seen it before at a PAX or maybe E3, but I don't remember. I didn't touch it. I didn't know anything about the game.
Chris, is this a video game for ants?
Well, that is a limitation of our new presentation style here.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to see.
Is that even smaller than before?
It is actually.
Yes, it
I don't know who made this
wanted it
overlay,
bigger.
but they
I know,
suck.
right? But no, this is a real-time strategy game. Nick is a little mad at us. In which you play as a set of ninjas, thieves, and samurai who are sent on missions for the Shogun during
and
the
why
Edo
is
period.
someone shining like a Christmas tree light?
So basically, this is a
Kona Vision.
Yeah, it's a Kona Vision. This is a stealth game. It's really focused on.
Wait, so that's someone
sneaking
looking
through the
around.
battlefield. Yes,
Someone's
that is
looking
a guard.
around like this.
Yes, they are constantly looking back and
Dude,
forth.
how would they not fucking break their necks?
If
Be-
I
be-
thought there were ninjas out there, I'd be looking that fast.
It's because video games. Each character has their own distinct set of abilities and tools they can use to sneak through the area. This is very much focused on stealth. It will just rip you asunder if you get caught by any of the guards. And for that reason, it's very focused on try and fail and try mechanics. I mean, if you look in the upper left hand of the screen, there's a quick save and a quick load option directly on the menu.
I can't see it.
Well, yeah, it's you'll see it in the YouTube video.
Okay.
There's different mechanics based on the time of day in which the game takes place. But each character has their own set of abilities. The one I have right here, her name is Aiko. She's built for disguising herself.
Excuse me, Eco.
Aiko. Aiko. That's how they pronounce her name.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. Aiko is built for disguising herself and sneaking into enemy camps. There's one, the ninja I have in this mission, his name is Hayato. And he's just traditional. He can throw a rock to distract guards, and he also has a shuriken that he can attack targets from a distance.
He's the only one that can throw a rock.
Well, I mean that's
especially
that's his
trained in
distraction
rock.
and an evade tool.
He's really good at throwing
Each
rocks.
one kind of has their own distraction or
He
evade
can
tool.
skip it 5 times across the pond.
Aiko, for example, what she can do is she throws a bag of sneezing powder at a guard.
Okay.
And it temporarily limits their vision.
Mm-hmm. So these are like the kids from the Ninja. What was that movie?
Three Ninjas.
Three Ninjas.
Oh, they put like fucking
Paprika?
laxative
Yeah.
in the Pepsi Cola, and then the guard drinks it and has to go pee.
No, I was talking about they make little paprika bombs or whatever they throw. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Sure.
that is traditional
That's
ninja
great,
tactics.
though. Three Ninjas is awesome.
You also get a samurai guy who can instantly kill 3 enemies at once,
Uh-huh.
and he can also carry and dispose of bodies, 2 of them at once.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing about this game is that there's multiple enemy types. 3 primaries. There's a standard guard who's susceptible to distractions and being suckered in for a kill. There are the straw hat guards, which will just stay in place, and they won't be distracted by like anything. So you got to kind of work the strategy around how they're placed and how you need to move around the environment.
Can you lay down like ancient naughty magazines to distract the guards?
Kinda. There's a character in here. She's a thief, and so she can set up a trap that will instantly kill a guard. Or and her distraction tool will actually lure them into a specific location. It's like a whistle or something like that. And so you set the trap, you use the whistle on or close by your trap, and they'll just walk into it and just kill themselves. But the third enemy type in the game is they're samurai. They're hard to kill, actually. You have to wound them by shooting them with a bullet, and then have a character
guns?
go. Yes. I mean, this takes place in the 18th, 19th century.
Okay.
So it's still a period of shoguns.
Never mind.
Just a couple.
Yeah, you shoot a samurai, and then you have to go in for the kill.
Why don't you shoot him twice?
You can, but bullets are very precious in this game. You only get like 3 per character. There is a sniper character.
So you said it's RTS. Is this that you just go and you do like a level?
Yeah,
You have a goal?
You're assigned a task. This is
Okay.
a single player game. You have missions to go around that you have to do for the
So you
shogun.
said each person's assigned 3 bullets, and just that's per level that you do.
Per level.
Okay.
It's not like set throughout the entire game.
Okay.
Because fuck that.
Yeah.
There are some levels where there's like 1/3 of the enemies are samurai. You can't do that.
You know what this reminds me of?
What?
Satellite Rain.
Satellite Rain.
Which was an isometric, real-time
I don't know
stealth
if I
game.
would compare it directly with Satellite Rain. I mean, granted, I don't know how the stealth mechanics worked in that game. But yeah, it's so focused on stealthing up and killing enemies without anybody knowing that you're there, that you really can't go balls out. I mean, you have very, very small health bars. You will just die so fast. So you got to constantly reload and try different strategies to get around the enemy's cone of vision. And the way the enemies are placed throughout the map, it's like a mini puzzle every single time you come up to a new area. So they'll have overlapping cones, but it'll be certain different types of guards.
Can you only see one cone of vision at a time?
So that's the thing with this game. You can only see one at a time, but if you get caught in another's field of vision, it will instantly switch to that cone. So you know where that guard is from seeing you from, and you know the distance in which you need to move around in. When it's like a solid green cone like that, that means that's their immediate vision. That's what they can instantly see you in, no matter what your posture is.
Okay.
But when it's the dashed cone that's further out, that signifies, you can actually be crouching and moving around in that area without him directly seeing you. If you stand up, you'll get caught.
Yeah. Was there any tall grass in this game?
Yeah, there's a bunch of bushes that you can hide in. You can hide on top of buildings.
Bushes are OP.
Yeah, they are. You can hide in lakes and rivers to kind of get around enemies. Just the level of trying to figure out how you want to approach these areas, it's really fucking cool. I put about 17 hours in this game. I'm assuming I'm 2/3 of the way through. And I'm spending about an hour and a half, 2 hours per level.
How do you feel not playing The Division for 17 hours?
Are you okay?
I mean, there is life beyond the Division. I will tell you that. It does exist, despite the 500 hours I put into it. Okay.
Shut up. Last week it was 200.
No, that's not even.
It's not
physically
500
possible.
hours. You're employed. You don't have 500 hours.
I work in education, so I've had the past week off. So
It's not 500 hours.
It is.
Is it?
It is.
I've put in 500
It's
hours.
not.
Yeah, that's true.
Shut the fuck up.
How much Overwatch have you played?
Not 500. I'm still in the like 60 to 70 hour range.
He's also had a fuck ton of other things to play. But again, time of day actually takes into effect the enemy's cone of vision. Distractions in the environment can change the way you approach the map. There are sub-objectives that you don't know about until you complete a first playthrough of the map. Some of them, they're kind of cool. Like this is a village that has been taken over by a rival faction to the Shogun, and the guards are kind of torturing the civilians in the area.
Yeah.
So you can kill the guards and liberate the civilians.
That's cool.
And certain civilian types, depending on the map, will if they see you, they may run and get the guards. They may run away in general, or they may even try to help you in a way. They'll get out of the way and let you proceed as what you need to do.
Okay.
There's multiple objective types. In this footage, I'm supposed to. There's two ways I can go about my objective. There is a large camp of enemies that has some samurai walking around and talking about what's going on for your later objective. And you can send Aiko up there if you find a disguise on the map and have her just follow the samurai around and listen to their conversation. Or what I do is I go over to a stable, which has another set of samurai walking around, but there's less enemies, but they're more strategically placed to overlap their cones. So you have to work out how to approach what enemy, how to lure them away, or at what point can you actually go in for the kill and remove them from the map.
Okay.
This game is really fucking good. I am surprised by it. I'll probably in the mission statistics, it'll list how many enemies you killed, how many times bodies found, and it also lists how many times you quick saved and quick loaded. Like the last map I played, I probably quick loaded 84 times.
Why don't you get good?
This is a game. It's purely built for trial and error. You cannot go into combat directly against an enemy because they will destroy you. They will summon their friends. They will come running.
Come on, man.
They will summon enemies out of houses on the map
You can play
to come
Hitman.
further destroy you.
No. Listen, if you engage with an enemy in Hitman, you're dead.
Yeah.
But you don't have to play that game by quick saving and quick loading. Same thing with
You absolutely can. Yeah, I
Dishonored
understand that.
Well, Dishonored, you can kind of engage with the enemy, but I look at Hitman, and it's at its best when you're doing an elusive target, and you only have one chance. And you know what? Shit gets sloppy because in the world of hitting men, it's tough, man. And sometimes you got to run,
Well, it doesn't-
and you got to throw fucking knives at people's faces. When that might seem like a bad idea.
But the game isn't structured like Hitman. It's not where you're going out and you find a specific target that you have to kill.
But are you loading every time
objectives.
you get you draw attention of a guard before you even get spotted and killed?
Well, I mean, you kind of have to because otherwise that character's going to die. And when a character dies, it's game over. These characters have to survive and they have to go on to the next map. They don't replace characters. There's no room for error. You have to try and experiment, and if you fuck up, you quick load. That's what you do in this game. Now, the good thing about the quick loads is that the load times, once you load into a map for the first time, They're maybe 5 seconds, really fast, and that's on a standard hard drive. SSD is probably much faster, so it really does make trial and error gameplay, a thing you can do rather conveniently.
Cool. Well, that's good.
Shadow Tactics.
Yeah, Shadow Tactics is.
Do you level up your dudes?
No, there's no leveling progression system in the game. It's just a story.
Okay.
Again, the map design is really fucking cool. It can range from like these nighttime villages to like a
Daytime
full-on
villages.
like castle invasion with a war going on, and you having to sneak around that.
I've heard good things.
And they'll throw at you different combinations of the characters to work together, or they'll place them differently throughout the map to where you have to work together or work on different objectives on different sides of the map. It's really fucking good.
Worthy of a wish list, maybe.
I think it's more than a wish list. I honestly think it's a buy. Just buy straight out.
Bad time of year, but
It is a bad time of the year.
you, Chris.
It's if you're looking for a good stealth game this year, that's not Dishonored.
Hitman. Or this.
It's one of those three basically. This is really fucking good.
Cool.
So,
By the way, Chris Davis,
yes.
I crushed the numbers.
Uh-oh.
And if you were playing Hitman for 500 hours
Division.
this year, Division, for
God
500
help me,
hours
Hitman,
this year,
500 hours.
that means that's 21 days, like full 24-hour days in a row.
The game.
If you were
gives
only
that
playing
statistic
8
when
hours,
you load up.
let's be a little more reasonable. Let's say like maybe you played 8 hours a day when you normally play. Okay, that's 55 days. 55
2
days,
months.
2 months between the 9 months or 8 months since the game's come out
Yeah,
straight. Or like all you did, you
Group cam.
I believe it.
55 8-hour sessions.
I believe it.
Man.
Yeah, a little fucked
I have
up.
no social life. Number one.
Well, it's not just that.
8 hours.
You could have been played so many other games, man.
I have been playing a shit ton of games
What
this
did you
year.
think of The Witness? Get out.
I didn't want to play
Get
The
out!
Witness. I don't like your fucking line puzzle game. Fuck that. It's not.
You know, if
I
we
might
were
have done that
Steam
math
friends,
wrong.
maybe you have a lot more games to try.
That's not,
know.
that's not necessarily true.
Games.
That's
I have
I'm
plenty
sorry.
of games.
I'm sorry,
You're
it's-
the one who needs more games.
It's more like 62 8-hour sessions.
that's not necessarily true because I'm friends with you on Steam and I still don't play your games.
That's only 20,
That's 'cause
20
they're
days.
PC games,
you know.
Yeah.
well, it's 20 days if
play
you
those
do
trash games.
a full 24-hour period.
If we shared,
if you're doing 500 and you do 8-hour sessions, it's 62 and a half days, where you basically,
Okay, I see what you're
woke up, took a shower, ate lunch, went to the bathroom, played Division, ate
about
ate
breakfast?
dinner.
how was that last 8
I
minutes of Here They
didn't
Lie?
have enough time. Didn't have enough time. Went to bed.
Is over
62 days. That's 3 months.
Wait, this is the show.
Yeah, this is the
we're
show.
still
Y'all-
doing
2
this.
months.
Oh,
Y'all
this
are
is the
two months.
podcast.
Y'all are over
What
here
we talking
doing-
about?
I don't know how to math. It's
Y'all are over
2
here
months.
doing math and shit.
Yes, this is the podcast,
Have we
Brad.
said anything weird?
Everything that comes out of your mouth is weird, Brad.
Well, then.
Hey, let's get on to the news.
I
Oh,
mean,
wait, there isn't any.
There is no news. And that's all the games we
There
have.
was
said
stuff that
different.
happened.
I can tell you about the last 8 minutes of Here They Lie,
Go for
which
it.
I just finished.
Wait, is that really as long as you had left?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
popped it in. I literally walked about five minutes because you walk in that game, so you're going really slow. I walk around a corner, I see a cutscene play out, and then it ends.
Jesus.
I was like, what's really
Isn't that the way it always goes?
What's really disappointing is that I think the last time I played that was during the horror marathon, so I
Yeah.
literally could have just pushed on just a little bit longer and finished that game, which is a real bummer. But hey, I finished it. But I couldn't really tell you like how I enjoyed it because I didn't even have enough time to remember
What you
was
played
happening
today
before.
wasn't any game. It was just a walking simulator.
Yeah, I just
What
walked
you did
forward,
today.
watched a cutscene play out, and then it ended.
Yeah.
I made a decision. I made a choice.
Final thoughts?
I like that game.
Nick liked it a lot.
I like that game a lot.
Okay, a lot.
I like it a lot. I think I like it more because of what it did for me in terms of my outlook about VR.
There you go.
I have one very relevant news topic. Mm-hmm. According to, I'm just reading off this site, Dual Shockers, Sony dedicated website. I'm just going to read this article. The first
Wait,
couple
we're gonna read the
sentences.
article.
Brad, just hurry up. Say it. Just say it.
God.
Just say it.
God damn it, Brad! This is a
Oh,
podcast.
you're the
Yet, in
worst.
an interview on the Japanese PlayStation blog, director Takeshi Ozawa and producer Yoichi Shimasato promised they intend to continue the original Valkyria Chronicles series, also explaining why they decided to take a different path with Valkyria Revolution.
Cool.
Oh, didn't
In
something...
an official statement, they intend to make more Valkyria Chronicles games.
That's
Just like
cool.
Capcom fully intends to make more Onimusha games.
You did remind me, though. Wasn't
They
there...
did not say that, though.
Wasn't there a development in the ongoing Unsung Story saga?
No, there's not.
Something happened.
Wait, that
the
thing
other
is
day.
still
I read
happening?
something the other day.
No, there's nothing.
All right. Well, I
That
think
was
let's.
bad.
Nope.
Okay. I think it's time for.
The community.
Thank
The community.
I like how Chris Davis decides to randomly bring up that yes, I did accidentally make a swastika in the witness once.
All right. So anyway, it's time for the community. This part of the show. It's all about the community, the people we love, you, and maybe your friends. I guess are part of our community too.
Cool.
So no new patrons this week.
No.
That's all right. People probably spending their money on Christmas gifts.
Yeah, which is probably advisable because.
Did y'all get any interesting things for Christmas?
Oh yeah, we didn't really talk about that.
Yeah, I got a Samsung Gear VR
Oh, we noticed.
and a drone that I haven't flown yet.
Oh, that's cool. Ooh,
Yeah.
can we hack it?
Maybe that's why you're bored with Watch Dogs.
Man,
Because I'm just like now I'm a real hacker. Like I'm getting real snooty about it.
exactly. I shit you not. I did not ask for anything for Christmas. My mother, who usually asks me what I want for Christmas, didn't even ask. And I showed up on. We did our Christmas Eve did our Christmas on Christmas Eve, and I took Robin over there.
Heathens!
And I show up at the house, and the Christmas tree, there's like 50 gifts under the tree. I was like, what the fuck is this? What is this? I brought my mom a little gift bag with like a gift card. I got my dad something, and then like my mom's like, 'cause I always like pass out the gifts, right? My mom gives me a Santa hat. She's like, all right, pass out the gifts, and like I swear to God, like, every
Is your mom deaf? Pass out the gifts.
That's offensive.
I know, Nick. Come on.
I didn't. Okay,
I'm offended.
I'm glad you're all thoroughly offended. The point is, I like looked down at the tree. I started grabbing gifts, and they were all for me. I was like, what? What is this? I shit you not. I left my house with a
You're
gift.
like a fucking child,
I
right?
know.
What did you get?
It was all like socks and like blankets.
I would
and,
kill
like,
for
Dude,
socks.
have you ever seen Brad's socks?
This is the only pair I have left.
I walked out of the house. I shit you not, with a gift bag, like a gift bag, like this tall, full to
Of
the very
socks.
top. No, of like.
What's the coolest thing you got? Curtains?
No, I got new sheets for my bed. I got.
Wait,
this is all.
What
It's
kind
very
of thread
exciting
count are we
stuff.
talking about?
Huh?
What kind of thread count are we talking about?
It's got to be at least 400. Anything below that.
Well, I don't know. I have to go look. I haven't.
when you unwrap the sheets,
haven't
Robin
unwrapped
was
them
there,
yet.
right? Where you're like, oh, let's go break these in.
That's exactly what I said.
Are they moisture wicking sheets?
Oh my god. Oh,
1,200 thread count.
like my mom went fucking crazy with the gifts, and like this is after a year of me telling her, like, mother, stop buying me random things I don't need. So she just
She's like, fuck you.
she saved it all up and gave it to me at Christmas,
There you go.
and then she got Robin like 3-4
Is
things.
she like laundering money?
And then
through
and
you?
then I get home and I was like, I literally got home. I put this giant bag in the middle of my living room. I was like, what the hell? And then I checked my email and I have an Alamo Drafthouse gift card for my mother.
Ah.
And I was like, what? She's like,
Jeez.
she can't. She's like,
She
she
like
can't.
secretly did something shitty that you don't know about yet.
It's like she
Yeah.
couldn't stop. She could not stop. I was like, I'm just gonna buy him everything. I was like, oh my god. I almost felt bad.
Maybe-
I literally gave her a gift bag like this tall.
You need to ask her if she has any dark secrets or something, because
She did something.
It feels like she was maybe trying to make up for something.
You originally had a twin brother, and they'd set up college funds for both of you. But your twin brother died when you were both infants, and you don't remember him. And now that college fund's matured, and they're just like, I don't know what to do with this. Give it to Nick.
Perhaps.
Okay.
Perhaps
Brad, what'd you
that's-
get?
I got a sweet ocarina.
You did.
Yeah.
Which you have since been practicing how to play Star Wars.
I got some new egg bucks.
Nice.
Ooh.
Got a new PS4 controller.
That's always good.
Got a little light bar on the touchpad. That's useful.
Oh, so you got that one.
Yeah.
You got
I don't even
got the
realize
new
it was there
DualShock 4
until it
Pro.
was pointed
Wait,
out.
what?
The PS4's DualShock 4 has a little light bar on the touchpad.
the new one, the Pro.
It's not very bright. Yeah.
which I think all of them do now. But
Anything else cool?
I don't remember. Oh, I got a pineapple
And a pin.
and a thing that you shove in a pineapple and twist around, and you pull it out, and it's like
All spiraled out.
a spiraled out
Oh, that's-
pineapple.
that's pretty
Cord
cool.
pineapple.
I would do that
That's
just for fun.
neat.
Let's see. Bernadette got me a nice pillow.
Nice.
Oh, is it one of those like My Pillows? Like,
No, it's just like a cool pillow, like one of those like Tempur-Pedic ones. It's like it has like a cooling effect to it.
welcome to the cool side.
Yeah.
Cold
Oh,
pillow.
okay.
Yeah, I like
Oh my
cold
God.
pillows,
You
and
flip over your pillow.
Yeah, and so we-
Everybody likes cold pillows.
we
That's
saw
the thing.
them at like Bed Bath and Beyond,
Sock
and I
pillows
registered
suck.
for one, and no one
You're-
bought it for us. And then we were going back to buy some stuff that people hadn't bought for us, and I was like, the pillow's kind of expensive. I'll pass on it for now. So she got it for me.
Your
I almost
brain
forgot to
has
tell you, Nolan. You'll like this. Robin got me pre-tied ties.
There you go.
Well, she actually
And
she
she
got me
tied them all?
ties. and
Wait,
she tied
she
them
tied
and
them?
then she
Nice.
kissed.
Now
Nice.
you can't untie
I have
them.
untied them because it's time. It's time for me
Time to learn for
to
real.
relearn how to
Crucible by
tie my
fire.
ties.
Every time you need to wear a tie, you just go on YouTube. How do I tie a tie?
She also got me some a Rick and Morty card game, and she got me a Rick and Morty
Nice.
another kind of card game that she read the reviews were horrible for it, but it comes in a Mr. Meeseeks box that says like 20 different phrases when you hit the
What?
top. Yeah, so,
Mr. Meeseeks. Oh,
yeah.
it's the box.
Yes,
I've
it's the
seen
actual
it.
Meeseeks box,
The
yeah.
Meeseeks box. Oh,
so that's cool. And
look
then
at me. I'm Mr. Meeseeks.
yeah, what, Brad? Oh, and then she got me something else too. And then my mom got me she took all of my old T-shirts that I used to wear and stopped wearing, like Dragon Ball Z T-shirts and this and that, and she had them turned into a blanket.
A quilt?
Yeah, like a quilt.
That's cool.
So it's
dope.
all like my old. Yeah, I forgot to take a
That's
picture of it.
fucking
Like all the
cool.
old stuff. So like some
She
Dragon
sounds
Ball
like a
Z
good gift
stuff
giver.
and like some like Pac-Man or something, and it's like a big blanket now. I would say what I got for her, but sometimes she listens to the show, and I haven't given it to her yet.
What?
Oh, I didn't see her on Christmas.
You're waiting until next Christmas?
No, I saw her when I was in Houston a few weeks ago, and she gave it to me then. But her gift that I bought for her came in like the fucking Monday after that weekend. And then
I've already lost track of what you're saying.
Yeah, and then she was in Lubbock, so I'm gonna see her on Saturday though. So I'm gonna give it to her on
I
Saturday.
got Malia a
Nice.
laptop.
Uh,
PC games together.
nice.
Co-op games. Tired of split screen bullshit.
Our arrangement at my family this year was everybody gets everybody else one gift. So that's what we did.
That's where I need to
Except
tell
my
them.
mom got me 2 gifts. She got me
They just
the
can't help themselves.
Fucking
can they?
Yeah, I know.
Moms.
She got me the headset, and she tried to get me 1 Ghostbusters wallet, but accidentally got me 2 Ghostbusters
Uh-oh.
wallets.
Oops.
Now you
So I have
got
She
two.
got you 3
They're
gifts.
2 different
Oh.
Ghostbusters wallets, and I feel kind of bad because one's like a nice one, but it's just black and has like the
Well, you can
logo
use that
on
for
it.
fancy
and the other
occasions.
one is like a paper wallet, like what I already have, but it looks like the fucking ghost strap, and I'm like, that's cool.
My mom
But I don't know.
Got me 5 different things. 5 different $20 bills.
Nice, $100.
All right. Anyway, that's
I watched a lot of
everyone's
movies
fun
on Christmas
Christmases.
Watched Elf, Die
Nice.
Hard, and Rogue One.
There you go.
Cool.
There
I
you
mean,
go.
I already talked about my Rogue One experience, but I talked about that.
Rogue One's a new Christmas standard.
I watched Black Christmas. Black Christmas, the classic
Oh, the whole-
slasher.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right, let's get to some questions from our patrons.
Yes, let's do that.
First question this week from Timothy. Brad has talked about Tales of Xillia 2 and that, in quotes, battle, which can have a different meaning for people who never played 1, and how it was a scene that got him a little... what's the most emotional invested you've gotten into a boss fight, pre and post cutscene included?
Oh god, that's hard.
And it can be either upsetting or exciting, but you're so deep that you're not going anywhere until you resolve that story. Also, fair warning, possible spoilers ahead.
Oh man, I feel like there's.
Story related?
Yeah,
'Cause
whatever.
I feel like
Just,
every Dark Souls boss is like the most important thing I've ever done.
I'm just trying to pull shit out of my ass.
like,
End of Metal Gear Solid 4.
I
3.
Oh yeah.
Well, 3, but I was gonna say 3 and 4, like the ending boss fights. So 4, 3 is more emotional, 4 is more, I would say, nostalgic emotional
with
Liquid, because you're going through like
Where
the
you go through the
themes and
different-
all the different games. So yeah, 3 is a definitely more
Yeah.
emotional, just like story wise, like when you fight the boss.
I
Yeah.
feel like the boss is probably that one's hard.
5.
Who was the final boss in 5?
Exactly.
Was there any bosses in that fucking game?
That's why he said it, and that's. I mean,
Seriously,
the,
I'm having a really hard time remembering
the
the boss
stuff
of
that
5.
happened.
There's no boss.
Yeah, it's not
There's
really
nothing.
a boss though.
What happens at the end of that game? I can't even remember.
You fight like a mech at one point.
Yeah. Anyway, that's off topic. Any
Sorry.
other boss fights?
Emotional boss fights.
Oh, the end of Wonderful 101. That final boss
that's
fight
still
is
one of the
crazy. It's so good. And then
the-
they do the fucking super ultimate attack, and you're like, I love this game forever.
I wouldn't necessarily call this like a great boss fight, but like story wise, it was pretty emotional. The final boss of Silent Hill 2, I found to be pretty emotional.
Isn't the
that one.
final boss of Silent Hill 2 two pyramid heads?
No, no,
It's
that,
2 of them.
that is no.
That's the end of.
I don't want to spoil what the final boss of Silent Hill 2 is, but I can assure you it is
have
not 2 pyramid
Played
heads.
that game.
I know you do fight 2 pyramid heads at one point, but that is not the final boss. That is like one of the final.
A giant bug creature.
The ending of Red Dead, that kind of whole final confrontation.
Yeah, I thought about that, but I wasn't sure if that was like a boss. But
whatever,
yeah,
I
I would
mean-
definitely if that's
You
a viable
kill a
option.
guy.
You do kill a dude.
Yeah.
That final you're talking about before the credits roll, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
The very end.
Absolutely. That's a
I
my
fucking
God.
got it. Fucking zombie Zalbag from Final Fantasy Tactics. That
Oh,
was
of course.
emotional.
Oh, yeah. Everyone
Yeah,
knows
that's a
that
great one.
Crispy knows what I'm talking about. You have to kill your brother who has no.
Spoilers.
Yeah, I guess that is kind of close. It's an old game though.
All right.
Statue
I know
of
enough
He's
time
not
on
a
this
zombie, he's
question.
like
What
a
about
vampire.
Assassin's Creed 2 where you fight the Pope?
Well, you did fight the Pope,
Dude.
but not really emotional. Fuck the Pope.
I found it emotional.
Anyway, next question from Umidori. What are your go-to beverages and food of choice when gaming? Has your quote gaming diet gotten more conservative as you've gotten earlier?
I think you meant to say older.
older. Yeah, as you've gotten older.
I don't know if I really have a go-to snack wise. I tend to snack.
Nick
on,
loves his pretzels.
do love my pretzels.
Nick loves his pretzels.
He's a
Also
pretzel
Haribo
man.
bears because I'm not a monster. Haribo bears.
But the regular one's not the sugar-free kind.
Correct. Yes, absolutely correct.
Chris Davis, of course, he likes chocolate covered raisins.
Oh my god.
Raisinets. I
what
believe
else?
They're referred to.
If you asked me like a while, I mean, I've been trying to drink less soda, but Dr. Pepper. I've cut out Dr. Pepper, but I've been drinking a lot of beer lately. So it's,
That works out.
it works.
Well, that's not a gaming beverage. That's
A beer with dinner, that's good for
That's
you.
an anytime beverage.
I usually when I broadcast like for long periods of time, I like partake in the occasional energy drink.
I think Brad usually eats food that kind of.
right now there's a Rockstar Juiced that I'm pretty high on.
It's usually the food Brad eats. I usually do some Diet Cherry Dr. Pepper. That's my go-to drink. And then, yeah.
So much going on in that though.
Yeah.
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 It's like a fiesta flavor in your mouth.
It is. And then for just like snacks, I don't know. That's a tougher question. I kind of bounce. I don't have any like actual go-to. I bounce
Me.
back and forth. Lately, I've been doing like Welch's fruit snacks.
Really?
That's good. That's a good one.
They come in like little packs, so I just
Aren't
eat
those
like a
for
little.
like children?
Yeah.
They're for people
Kids
who
get
have
all
mouths.
the best stuff.
They're for people with
guess.
mouths.
Yeah.
I guess.
Dude,
That's really the only
You know what's
prerequisite for
a
eating them.
good, a wonderful, delightful little treat to enjoy while you're playing a video game?
snack?
Some Twizzlers. I enjoy Twizzlers.
I hate Twizzlers.
Oh, fuck you, Nick. You don't like chocolate? You don't like Twizzlers? What the fuck is wrong with
Well, I
you?
don't like licorice.
It's not licorice. It's
not the licorice ones.
it's
the other
pretty
ones.
close.
I like the filled Twizzlers that have
strawberry
the sour,
flavored Twizzlers.
the sour.
Nicholas, have you
stuff
you
in
don't know what you're talking
No,
about. You were speaking out of your anus.
No,
No,
Twizzlers are divisive. You're wrong in this.
I
You can't put chocolate in the same category as Twizzlers. Waxy.
What the fuck is wrong with Twizzlers?
It's divisive.
don't like them. That's,
Since when?
Since fuck Twizzlers. That's when.
All right, moving on. Next question.
This cow.
Next question from Arxidus. Earth, fire, wind, water, heart.
I'm heart.
Go planet. By your powers combined, which of the Planeteer's rings do you wear? Of course, Nick's heart.
I have
Of course,
heart.
Nick's Mati.
It's Twizzlers for fuck's sake.
I don't
Wind,
know.
because I want to be a hot Asian chick. What?
I mean,
He speaks the truth.
I would say Asian chick.
Okay, fine. Red vines, maybe you like red vines, whatever. But the point is, like strawberry.
red
I'm sorry,
vines
I'm
either.
still on the.
I'd go Earth.
Earth is a good one.
Earth.
Earthbender.
I don't like Twizzlers
God damn it.
because they're not covered in sugar. Like my actual favorite candy, blue raspberry sour punch straws. Eat
Dude,
those
those
are
like,
basically like
those are just gonna kill your tongue.
those are basically just like
Do you remember
Twizzlers
back in
covered
like
in
elementary
sugar.
school when
Yeah.
you would drop one of those in a soda and you'd drink the
Fuck
soda?
yes,
through
I
it?
do.
Yeah.
Man, I wish I could still do that.
You know, I recently tried
can.
like some Sour Punch bites. They come in a big bag. They're
said Sour
they're
Punch
like
in my mouth,
wider,
that'll,
like
pucker.
straw like pieces.
Yeah.
But they're a lot wider, and
No,
I
fuck
find
that.
I find that texture kind of pleasant because sometimes you bite into a Sour Punch and it's kind of like hard. You know,
That's the best.
so it's a more pleasant texture.
All right, next question.
Oh, we didn't even answer that one. I
most
picked
of us
water.
did. Brad already picked water.
I picked
No, he picked wind.
fire.
Wind?
Oh, he picked wind.
No, water.
You picked
No, you
water.
He
picked
picked
wind.
wind because he's.
I picked the Asian chick.
Which one is that?
You picked wind.
Water. Wind is like the Ukrainian chick. What do y'all talk? Have y'all seen the show?
Fire. I picked
Not
fire.
since I was two,
Okay.
Brad.
That's the ginger.
I picked fire.
All right. So wind.
Wing.
I pick Asian.
That is not the question.
The Asian element.
Okay. Anyway, moving on.
Oh god.
Carlos is Captain Planet.
Of course. Yes, of course. That makes perfect sense.
Next question from
like
Windingo.
Don
Ate my
Cheadle,
baby.
Captain
Don Cheadle?
Oh my god.
Oh, sorry.
I was about to say, you've not seen
Oh, when he's
Don
like the,
Cheadle, Captain
like
Planet?
the paint and stuff. Okay, yeah, never mind.
Oh my
I
God,
remember
it's so
that.
good.
Okay, that was a long
There's
time
people
ago.
in the trees.
Windingo. I recently, a few months back, came across arachnomorphs in The Witcher. Oh, yeah. With no prior knowledge of their existence. So reacting in the way I usually react to a pack of giant spiders rolling out the woods to fuck me up, I Alt F4'd and I haven't picked up the game since. That being said, are the enemies NPCs you've been super spooked by over the years? I will say the arachnomorphs are really fucking annoying enemies because they don't fight you, they run away. And as you're trying to chase them down, another one will come up behind you and attack you. And when you try to go and attack that, it'll run away. That was annoying about those enemies because you could never fucking attack them.
Only spider-ish enemy that's truly fucking horrified me. Blackhead crabs from Half-Life 2.
Oh, yeah.
Holy
Because they're
shit.
instant kill, and when you see them, you're
Well,
just like,
they send you to one hit point, and you hear them like hissing.
Yeah.
You know, like regular head crabs kind of make cute little
Yeah.
noises.
Those
Those black
ones
head
are-
crabs,
they
ugh.
sound
And they put
mean.
them in the worst places.
yeah.
That's a fucking horror.
I think any enemy that you can like hear it, you know, it's just that fucking like, oh god, it's that anticipation. You like, you know, it's near. I don't think there's ever been enemies that have like been spooky. I've talked about it before, but anything that fucking chases me,
Yeah.
like I just fucking get like creeped out and like,
Yeah, it makes me
It
uncomfortable.
didn't spook me to the point where I had to stop playing the game, but like subtly but effectively unsettling were the I don't even know what the fuck you'd call them, but an inside.
Oh, the
part-
girls, the swimming girls?
Yeah, where you're underwater.
Once
again,
Anytime
chasing
you're
you.
in water, there's just something like you can only stay in for so long. Otherwise, this like water hag gets you and kills you.
The beautiful part about those
I
enemies.
freaked out because it's almost gonna get you fucking
yeah,
The beautiful
and
part
they
about that is
time-
they design those sequences.
yeah,
perfect
It
timing.
takes you
With
like just
You have like a small window of.
It's the same thing with the dog.
She's always nipping at your heels as soon as you get out of the fucking
Yeah.
water. Like,
And
That's
it's a
just-
situation because I
that's a good
recently
one.
recorded some footage for that.
Yeah.
And it's even early on when the dogs are chasing you. Like I know I have enough time to get away, but still it's just that feeling when they get so close and you're like, ah!
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was also gonna say like, I eventually got over this and back and finished it, obviously, but like the only game I can think of where I saw an enemy and I turned it off and didn't go back to it for probably a couple months was when the first time I ever popped in the Fatal Frame. I literally got to the first, like, remember the very opening sequence of Fatal Frame 1 is so black and white, it's like a flashback, and I got to the rope hallway with the T intersection at the end. We'll open the door, took 2 steps in, and you see a figure walk at the end of the hall past it, and I was like, nope, turn it off. Turn it off, and I was like,
It is
can't
still
do
the
this.
scariest.
Can't do this.
All right, next question from Nick the Batman. What bad movie could have been an awesome game?
Bad movie could have been an awesome game.
Bad movie. awesome game.
Starship.
I wish he would have given an example, like of
Dude,
what he considers a
good
bad
movie.
movie.
What if Rogue One was like Star Wars Battlefront? I'm joking. That was a joke. That was a joke, guys.
Well, that Star Wars Battlefront sucks, and
Well, I mean, like a good Star Wars Battlefront that has a story. What if Rogue One was the story campaign of a Battlefront game?
It could have been. You know,
Rogue One
Battlefront 2
would
is
be
apparently
better
going to
as
have
like
a
a
story.
fucking RPG or something.
Yeah.
Bad movie that could have had.
Bad movie that would be a good game.
I don't know about this one, guys.
I'm having
I'm
trouble
trying
thinking
to
about
think
it.
of all
What
of
is that fucking shitty ass? And it's not a joke question. That Zack Snyder movie.
Batman versus Superman.
You're
Chronicle?
No,
No, that's not-
the one
that's
he's
not
known
Zack
Sucker
Chicks, the one
Punch.
with the
Sucker
chicks.
Punch.
Oh, Sucker Punch.
was a bad.
That
movie.
looks like
probably would
it's
make a decent.
It's a
video
Platinum
game.
Games
Yeah.
game. Like,
Sucker
yeah.
Punch
Oh my
could have
god,
been a
you're
good
right.
game, yeah.
Sucker Punch
Yeah.
is literally a Platinum Games game in movie form.
Yeah.
Kind of.
There you go.
In
Rubber.
In
was
fact,
actually a pretty
Rubber
good
would be a
movie.
What the
great.
fuck is rubber?
It's that
Killer
tire
tire?
that kills
are you
people.
talking about flubber or
No,
rubber?
rubber. There's a
I've
horror
never seen
movie about a
this.
tire that kills people.
I've never seen this.
It's a
I
sentient
must-
tire.
I must see this.
Final Fantasy Spirits Within. No, that'd probably make a bad game.
That'd be a
too.
bad game, too.
Dude, what about that Lights Out movie or whichever?
Hey, that was
Don't
pretty
Breathe.
solid.
That would
Which
be
one was
Don't
it?
Don't Breathe was also pretty solid.
Don't Breathe.
I don't.
was
Which one's the one with like the blind guy?
Don't Breathe.
Yeah.
That's Don't.
Yeah, and that was good.
Yeah.
Although it ruined turkey basters for me.
What the
What?
fuck?
But
Why?
It-
Oh, fuck you, Chris Davis. Did you finally watch that?
it did the opposite for Seaman.
Replicator would be an interesting. Replicator was a recent. They did it on Best of the Worst, and let me explain to you the plot of this movie because I don't understand. I would say you can't make this shit up, but someone did.
Replicator?
Replicator. The plot of this movie was military scientists were trying to transport soldiers from point A to point B, but in the process, the soldier was turned into a hot woman who was very horny. If she had an orgasm, she turned into an alligator person. If that alligator person were to bite a man, that man would turn into a zombie who is a gay zombie. That is the plot of that
so
fucking
were all
movie.
the gay zombies like grinding on each other?
That's hard to follow.
Yeah, that's a movie.
Did it go straight to video?
I don't even know.
There's a
Maybe
lot
why
going
not.
on. Is it-
The funny thing is,
is
one
it
of the main
Sci-Fi
actors
Channel?
in the game, the guy that interacts with all the hot women, he was also the screenwriter. Like he wrote the script of the movie.
Fuck
Of
yeah.
course.
So,
Of
anyway,
course.
anyway,
Sharknado would be pretty cool.
That's another platinum
That'd be
game.
that'd be an interesting game. Yeah, Sharknado. All right. Anyway, let's move on. One more question for the night. Prince of the Universe. Make a prediction for the gaming industry in 2017. It can be anything. A game announcement, game release date, blah blah blah. It can be an individual one for each person, or all three of them. Okay.
Oh my.
Once you have your prediction, come up with a penalty that your other three co-hosts have to perform if the prediction comes true. No, that's kind of silly.
That's too long, but we
Yeah.
can definitely make predictions.
Well, we'll make predictions.
Okay, I predict that after the first wave of Switches are sold, it will be a long time before stores restock them.
Well, that's
Wow.
What a safe prediction. Oh my god. You know what? My prediction, I think 2017 is the year that we're going to see Agent.
No, that doesn't exist. That's,
I'm going to go
vaporware.
nuts, guys. I think Agent's coming back in 2017. What do you mean? We saw Final Fantasy 15 and The Last Guardian come out within a week of each other in 2016. Those games were both in production for a hell of a long time. We could see Agent reemerge in 2017. If you want to be more realistic about it, I'm going to go ahead and say VR by this time next year is probably going to be
Pretty sick.
pretty fucking prominent.
There's probably going to be
I
an
think we're-
announcement of a Star Wars game that isn't a Battlefront game.
Well, I would
that's
certainly
already
hope this
been
is the year
kind of
we're
a-
going to see the Amy Hennig Star Wars game.
Yeah,
Yeah. Was it 13? What is it?
that
13, it's not
No,
13,
not
13.
13, the other one. Yeah. that's
1313 no longer exists, but this is probably the
true.
biggest
Man, what's a.
high profile
I predict Scalebound's gonna come out and be dope as shit.
but
What
not on
if,
PC.
what if I predicted that the Scorpio is going to get a launch price of $600?
No way.
What if it does?
dude. What
mean,
if
they
it
can't.
does?
500's possible, but also
I
terrible.
I think 500 is a safe bet.
You know,
I think
Crispy's joking-
500 is what's gonna happen.
Crispy was trying to be a sarcastic bitch, but let's be honest for a second. We could be making a lot of predictions about the Switch. 'Cause I
Oh,
think
yeah,
that's-
we could
There's
be.
a lot of we know a lot about it at this point. And so
But a lot of that stuff is like really, like it's all been coming from the same place, and that source has been proven to be
What about
accurate.
What about
for the
more? I'm
most
just saying.
part.
What about a more general level? Do we want to predict the success or lack thereof of the Switch in
Oh,
2017?
no, I mean it's not. I mean, is it going to be Wii successful? No.
I think the
Is it gonna
Mario
be
game that's
mo-
going to come out is not going to be good.
Hey,
you
come on,
shut your
no
mouth.
One, no one wants that. Man.
I don't want it. I don't want it to be bad. I want it to be fucking good.
But you still have the opinion that unless it's like Mario 64, it's not going to be good. But like,
Mario Galaxy.
is great.
Have it be like that. Have it not be a fucking linear run down a hallway and jump.
I'm gonna agree with Nolan here.
I am tired of that shit.
You think it's gonna?
No,
Well,
I'm not saying I think it's going to, but I'm saying if it's not like Mario Galaxy, at least I'm gonna be super disappointed.
I mean, what's the last? I mean, oh well, I don't think it's gonna be like Mario Galaxy.
I mean, like in
We've already
terms of
seen
its
footage of it.
No, in terms of its structure, like.
But Mario Galaxy is also a really linear, straightforward. Like, there's not much exploration.
It's well, like I said, it is fairly linear, but at least the hallways you're running down are really fucking wide.
You know what? I'm gonna go crazy. I wanted to go as far as to say I hope it's more like Sunshine.
I would fucking anything.
Well, so
Anything
I have
that's not
faith that
linear.
it'll be good because there's no fucking gimmicks on the Wii. I mean, on the Switch.
Switch, yeah.
Wait.
Which is a sign that they might actually have to be creative
But
and not design it
on
around
the
some
Wii
fucking
U,
hardware.
there weren't any gimmicks. They had to fucking
Yeah, well,
The pad.
The
I mean,
pad,
it was
but I mean, it's-
multiplayer.
I guess
That was the gimmick.
I
but,
guess.
But like, I don't think they're gonna do that with this game because you have to play it on the go. I mean, like, I feel like all of these. I feel like multiplayer is not gonna be the focus with this system, just because it's designed as a handheld for the most part as well. So
What's up, Nick?
I have a question that we can maybe wrap this question up with, in kind of a related question, I guess. If we each had to predict one game or one series that would make a comeback in 2017, like something that we haven't seen in a while that we think is realistically going to make an appearance or like at least be announced. In
Maybe we'll
2017.
hear something more about Deep Down.
Oh,
I mean, hopefully,
fuck
with
you.
Let It Die
I mean,
is a
yeah.
sign that maybe it's something like that is worth it. But
I would like it.
Anything
I
else?
mean,
Bloodborne 2.
just with the Switch coming
Well,
out, I think it's highly likely we're going to hear about a new Smash game.
Yeah.
well, the leaks suggest that they're going to do a
There's been leaks. I haven't seen leaks.
a re-release
God damn it.
upgraded current Smash. version,
That's
probably with some more content for
what, a Brawl?
Switch.
No,
not Brawl.
Oh wait,
the
no.
current.
Wait.
Super Smash Brothers
4
4
or whatever
Wii
it's
U.
called.
Yeah.
For Wii U.
Oh, that's what it was
Yeah,
called.
it's dumb.
Son of a.
Fucking terrible name.
Yeah.
What a terrible ass name.
Yes, man. Can we see another FTL or like whatever the fuck that person's
that'd
making?
be nice. Yeah.
That team? Come
Yeah.
on, man. That game was fire, man. What's next? Come on.
You know what we're going to hear about in 2017, Nick?
What?
Half-Life 3.
Fuck you. Get out of
It's
this
coming.
podcast.
Half-Life 3.
I mean, it's got to come eventually.
Where do we stand on Beyond Good and Evil 2? Oh yeah, never mind. That was still in early production, in pre-production in 2016, right? When they finally started talking about Beyond Good and Evil 2.
What a lame ass way to reintroduce that. Jesus.
Yeah, that was pretty dumb. I predict we're gonna see a new Assassin's Creed in November.
Oh.
But
Fuck.
Really going
it'll
up there,
be,
Nick.
but it will be the first one that has had a longer development cycle. So there's that, right?
A little.
Could be interesting. That's not much of a prediction. We already know that's probably going to happen. So, anything else? No.
No.
I'm going to predict we're going to see either one of Capcom's other major franchises return, either Onimusha or Dino Crisis. One of those.
I'm going to predict that VR starts to fizzle.
What? It's barely started. I hope you're wrong.
I hope I'm wrong too.
I really hope you're wrong. Okay. All
I
right.
swear to fucking God, if Capcom does another Lost Planet game or another fucking Dead Rising, just let it go, man. Go back to the good shit, you stupid hoe bag bitches.
Tell us how you really feel. Oh my God. All right.
You know what? No one ever wanted a Lost Planet game. Not even the first one.
That's
Fuck
true.
off.
That is true.
That is true. All right. Let's go ahead and wrap the show up with the 4-player minute, shall we?
Yes. Yes.
Brad's going to start us off. We're going to say our hype, our sweat, our fuck you, and our thank you of the week. Go, Brad. That is your cue.
Excuse me, I just got real tired. My hype is, for this week of, no Let It Die. I've actually been taking some time this week to play games that are not Let It Die. And I've been finishing games. I finished Last Guardian, which was nice. I finished Thumper. I finished Owlboy. I just played Darkest Dungeon all day. You know what's good? Darkest fucking Dungeon. It's
That
like
game
I'm
is really
drug free, and it's great.
That game is really good.
So that's my hype. My hype is, it is really good, is to continue this week by not playing Let It Die. Although I do got to log in today to get my daily bonus, login bonus. My sweat, though, is that this is it, man. Like, last year, I was playing the hypest fucking games in December and the beginning of January, and when that video posted, when that award show was done, I stopped playing those games, and I feel terrible. It's going to happen again. Look at January.
Oh, of course it is. Yeah,
So-
no, there's so many games about to come out that, it always ends up
Got to
happening.
turn off that 2016 Switch. Turn on the 2017.
I didn't finish
just-
Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Neither did I. I fucking ended up buying it, and then, I never
You know what I
finished
still
it.
haven't finished or played more than 15 hours of? Fallout 4.
Jesus.
Yeah, same thing with me.
Not because I don't want to. I, would love
I think I'm
to
the
go back
only
and
one
play
on the
that.
site that finished the game.
Fucking shit.
My fuck you goes to the final boss of Thumper. Fuck you. That whole game, you're going fast as hell. Faster, faster, faster. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And then the final boss just fucks with you and starts randomly speeding up and slowing down and speeding up and slowing down. And fuck you. And maybe that game, the new game plus on that, which the game is like 50% faster in new game plus.
What?
Which is fucking cool.
Yeah.
No checkpointing.
Oh,
During those
no.
levels.
That
Like those
sucks.
long ass levels.
Yeah.
No checkpoints.
That sucks.
My thank you goes to Spectral Shot. He bought me my loan, I guess, Steam Christmas gift, And
Well, he got me nothing.
thanks for remembering. Well, hey, times are tough. The economy is not great, I guess. Actually, it's doing better. Yeah. Thank you, Spectral Shot. He got me a cool like zombie game that is kind of like FTL-ish,
What game?
but it has like turn-based like combat, like a JRPG, but it's zombies.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't remember the name, but I'm gonna play it.
Cool. You done?
Yep.
Cool. All right, my 4Player starts now. My hype is for Nier Automata. After playing that
Out there, demo.
Automata?
demo, you can say however the fuck I want.
I'm gonna say Automatopia.
I'm excited for it. I'm hoping the potential is there for a great game.
Yep.
And I'm ready for it. My sweat is all this fucking game of the year shit. Like, we always talk about how we get stressed out, but this year I feel like it's been more difficult than it has been
It's
in a
been a
long
weird
time.
year.
There's been so many good games, and they're like little games that kind of pop up out of nowhere. This is the year that I think my backlog list has been the biggest of games. It's not like, I kind of want to play that. Like, a game like that could potentially be in my like top 5, and
Yeah.
I just can't play it. I don't have the time.
Dishonored 2.
I've played an hour of Dishonored 2, and there's still so many other games I need to get to, and it just fucking sucks. Like I was telling Brad, like I stopped playing Let It Die like early last week. I hadn't even played it. Like, I'm like, I can't play this game. It's not going anywhere. I know my feelings about it, but it's just like I can't. Like, there are too many fucking games to play. My thank you is going to go to all my friends and family. This past like kind of Christmas week time has been really good, getting to spend time with people, and it's always nice when you take a break from games and just kind of chill for a little bit.
Yep.
Even though you're in the back of your mind, you're constantly stressing about playing games. And then my fuck you is going to go to my PC and just kind of PC gaming, just because sometimes it can be so frustrating. And just like little tiny settings here and there that can fuck you over. And like, I don't know, I guess Watch Dogs isn't optimized for PC because it runs like shit on my PC. Like, I've turned down the settings, everything to low, and it uses like 70% of my CPU. And it's like, what the fuck's going on? Like, it's just not optimized
I wanted
at
to
all.
pick up Just Cause 3 in the Steam sale. I've just been waiting for it to get cheap, fuck around with mods and
Yeah.
stuff. And like all the reviews on Steam were like, no, this is still poorly optimized.
And
Runs like shit.
That
I'm like,
sucks when
fuck.
that happens. Just because, there's so much potential. And it's not like when I'm not streaming, The thing is, when I play Watch Dogs 2, if I have the game on low settings, everything's the lowest it'll go. It runs at like 60%. If I have everything on ultra, it runs at like 70%. It's like, what the fuck is that? Like, why is it like so poorly optimized? Like, so when I'm not streaming, I play it on ultra, but when I stream, I have to turn everything fucking down as low as it'll go just so I can play at a decent frame rate. I don't know.
Which is weird.
It is. Anyway, but yeah, that's my 4Player.
Okay, I don't have a sweat this week because I'm not all that worried about anything. So I'm gonna go 2 hypes, and I'm gonna say Nier Automata because that game went from 0 to like 1,000 on my interest scale in the span of the last few hours.
It has entered your radar.
Yes, it is firmly within my sights. And for Neo, which is coming up. Which is
If I don't finish
coming
Dark
up,
Souls 3
which
soon.
is coming up. Not even 2 months. Not even 2 months.
I've got to finish Dark Souls 3 in January. I have to.
It's crazy, man.
I'm not going to be playing Dark Souls 3 and Neo simultaneously. I just can't do it. I won't do it.
Fucking Neo. I can't wait. My fuck you for this week goes to myself for not playing more video games this year. Like, you know, like you were saying, I looked at everything that isn't going to be on my list, everything that I didn't play, and it's just like, fuck, there are very big, important games that aren't even, like, entering consideration for me, you know?
You know what you should do?
No.
You should put Dungeons and Dragons on your list. Just fuck Chris Davis. Dungeons and Dragons, best video game.
And just
Fucking roll the dice, man. My thank you for the week also will go to my family for a lovely, quiet Christmas home. Hadn't been back to Florida in a few years, but it wasn't that bad.
nice.
Made you remember why you left.
Yeah, kind of. But at the same time, I did get to see some friends that I hadn't seen in a long
Looks
time.
like you found
so.
some cool shit in your house, maybe.
Yeah, 1 or 2 things. Oh yeah, I.
How many of those friends have meth addictions? Now, you know what?
Fucking Crispy tweeted a picture of a Turok book like I had never heard of it before. And I was like, bitch, I read those.
Bitch. That book represents my entire exposure to that franchise.
That's sad.
Nice.
That book.
And
Those
it's
books,
not a good book. I didn't
those
even finish
no,
it.
they're not. But
it's
those
like 60 pages, and I was like, okay.
But those books represented me desperately trying to find more of that franchise to get my hands on.
Well,
Sun and Moon, what happened?
Oh shit!
oh fuck.
The same thing that always happens when I play Pokemon games.
They're the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I wouldn't mind playing more. I'm just, the last couple months I've been kind of
playing good games.
that and,
All right, Nick, what's your 4Player?
All right. My hype this week goes to, and I tweeted about this, I was trying to find a good co-op game to play with Robin on the feed because she's been hanging out with me while I broadcast, and I wanted to find something cool. And I'm thinking Resident Evil 5 is looking like a pretty good contender. It's on sale right now on the PlayStation Network for like $10. And that's,
Portal 2, maybe?
really good. Yeah, Portal 2 is also a contender, although that you can only play on PS3 or 360, right? I have the PS3 version. I don't have a PS3.
I don't think you can play
Can't currently play the PC version, but I will. That's definitely on the list. But yeah, I'm looking forward to maybe trying Resident Evil 5 again. It's been a long time, and that'll be fun to play co-op. I might even try and get that set up and do it tomorrow night for my broadcast. I'm not sure. If not, it'll probably be the next week. My sweat goes to my top 10. I am really close to nailing down my list, but there are like 3 games that are like rotating like every day. I just go back and forth. Like these all could be like my number 10. So it's just like trying to figure out which game is going to barely make my list, which is giving me trouble. But it's also been a weird year.
Inside is one of those 3, so help me God.
It's been one of those years for me where it's just like this is the first year in a long time where like I didn't instantly know what my number 1 was. Like I had to really think about it. So yeah, I'm a little worried about that. My thank you, like y'all, goes to my family, maybe particularly my mother who went a little fucking crazy on Christmas. Thank you for all that stuff that I could use and maybe even some of it I needed. And my fuck you goes to my Xbox One, which I booted up this week to capture some footage for end of the year stuff. And I tried to capture footage of Oxenfree. got through the opening cutscene twice, and it froze. Like it stayed like stuck on the loading screen, and I couldn't get it past it, and it doesn't autosave. So every time I tried to replay it or reload it, it would just start the game over again from scratch. Tried to uninstall it and reinstall the game, and it won't install. Every time it gives me an error every time I try to reinstall
Weird.
Oxenfree. Don't know what the fuck that means, but that's a game I want to fucking go back and finish and
Did you
play.
finish that, Crispy?
Oxenfree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to play it. You liked it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I want to fucking play it, but now I don't even know if I can get it on my Xbox anymore. I don't know what's going on there. And then I tried to download the
What a
update for
dust in
Quantum
the
Break, and it gave me a fucking error on that too. And my network is fucking like my network connection's fine. Mm-hmm. I was able to download stuff on my PS4, no problem. Xbox One, it's like giving me a big middle finger. So you know what?
Break is one of those 3.
What?
You don't have to answer.
Anyway,
I'm not going
moving
to
on.
answer. Anyways, yep, that's our show. One last reminder, guys, if you haven't yet, please go vote in the surveys we have up. For the top, you can post your top 10 games in 2016. You can vote for your favorite 4-player highlights of the year, and we'll get videos out for those. Those will be out probably right after our personal top 10 lists go out in January. So go vote for those. We really appreciate it. You can also watch us broadcast games every night at 4pp.tv. And 2016 is finally over. Next week will be 2017. I think next week is probably going to be our preview show, I would assume.
Yes, next week is preview show. The week after that will be awards.
Yeah, so next 2 weeks, what we always do, preview show, we'll go over all the games that we can think of that we know are slated or expected to be out in 2017. And then the week after that, we'll do our award show. We'll go over all of our award categories and talk about all the stuff that we loved in 2016, even though this year was a garbage fire. Maybe not for games. Other things. Anyways.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for listening. 4playernetwork.com is the website. We will see y'all
See you
later.
next year.
Later.